Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Heroes. It's been a minute. How are my two of my favorite players going today?
Oof. Absence makes the heart grow colder.
Ooh.
I'm doing well. I'm excited to get back to Hardly Heroes.
Yeah, it's been too long, hasn't it? I've been watching clips of The Sopranos, so I'm back in the mindset. I feel like we don't do enough kind of like sitting around and talking about what the other people in the city are up to. You know, like, can you believe that guy's done this, or so-and-so called like so-and-so's wife fat and now he's had to kill him or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm trying to become Tony Soprano. That's where Luther's life is headed. It starts with eating a lot of gabagool.
Is Tony Soprano the ideal mob boss, or is he sort of like a is he like the hero, or is he sort of like an anti-hero? Is he like you don't want to be Tony Soprano because look how fucked up his life is and how hard he's like barely holding it together? Or is he
he's like the original anti-hero? No, I mean, like, he goes through periods throughout the show of being like on top of things, and I don't know if you've ever watched it, but yeah, like the fact that, you know, like they spend a lot of time talking about his mental health and stuff like that. So clearly he's not got it all together. But I mean, yeah, he's like the quintessential mob boss for me.
I think a theme is like nobody's ever going to be the perfect boss, right? And there's always going to be someone scheming and who thinks they can do it better. So I mean, I think Tony did it pretty good.
I also think that, like, to succeed in a business like that, you have to have something wrong with you, like on a personal level, that makes your personal relations difficult because you're such a ruthless, like, psychopathic person to get into that position. Right. You're fundamentally broken just by the fact that you're there. And I think that holds true for like a lot of fucking partners in the Big Four, by the way, in case any of you are watching, which they haven't got any time to be watching this, so they're probably not.
Because he's got those moments where he's like murdering people with his hands, and then like he's breaking down crying because the ducks are moving, and his you know,
he's a sensitive soul. I think that the thing with Tony is that he is anything that he perceives as pure and innocent, he loves unconditionally and wants to protect it. But the second that he thinks that you're no longer innocent, or that you hold some guilt, then any empathy he has at all goes completely out of the window. And then his kind of like sadistic elements of, you know, taking pleasure in screwing someone over or taking pleasure in inflicting pain kind of come out. Whereas when it comes to the ducks or the horse or his daughter or just women in general, he generally tends to be a lot more kind and empathetic.
Yeah, I think we call that emotionally unstable.
That's definitely a correct assessment, I would say.
Yeah.
Great show.
Anyway,
great show.
Let's hop into it. So, for those who might not remember, where did we leave off last? Because it was an adventure. Some things had gone down.
Well, I think the session started with the stark realization that there is literally 200 dwarves walking in and out of your house at every moment of the day for the foreseeable future. And I think that necessitated moving location. So I think we had a bit of back and forth on where to move, and we settled on the Redcoats area since we kind of felt like we had a few more opportunities there just because we knew the lay of the land because of our previous adventures there. And also we've kind of got a bone to pick with them. And we were hanging around in our tavern, I think, after having been there for a few days, when in walks, a bunch of redcoat goons led by some woman with flowing blonde hair, I believe whose name was Calpurnia. And they attacked us in the tavern, and we fought them off valiantly. And then I seem to remember them stealing from us, but where did they steal from? Did they go to our hotel or something? Is that what happened? Or like where we were staying?
Yeah, they came into our hotel room in the night, and
that's right.
Some of the locks, and then our great leader woke up and got him out of there. But they stole, whatever's on your character sheet at this point, they stole.
Yes, they've got all our shit. So I think then we spent the last bit of the episode trying to track their movements down, and we basically realized that they went to a tavern near the gates and then went into the inner city. So I think we had a plan where we were going to split up. So Helmet and Sierra were making an information network to try and find out the next time they're in town. Eraser, Percival, and Lemon were staying around so they could act on any leads. And then I think that Luther and Pigeon were going to the store to replace some of the essential items that we needed, like weapons and things.
Great. Perfect. So, Luther and Pigeon.
Wait,
we cut to the next day. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't think we ever did this, but I feel like, shouldn't we get experience for the gem that we turned into our huge-ass house, the payment for it? Because it's realized wealth now?
He's thinking.
I have a quote to pull from the DNG for you.
Oh, here we go.
He's pulling out the books. I mean, I don't even care at this point. If you're pulling out the book, I don't even care.
He could have just said the house itself was its own reward.
It's going to devastate you. It's going to devastate
I'll
you.
listen to it. Yeah, let me hear it.
At this point, we're just listening to it's a human ale, really. It's not going to stop us asking the next time.
No,
That's
physics,
true.
Cut that and then go to Neil's book thing where he starts reading.
It says right here in the book that the players are always wrong and the DM is always right. So shut the fuck up.
As an option, the DM can award XP value for the cash value of non-magical treasures.
Yeah,
I thought there was more
always done that.
phrase on that.
Oh, okay.
There were more words on it. Something about magical items are good enough on their own, and you shouldn't give extra XP
oh, it
for
is
them.
a magic item. You're right.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
All good. I mean, we got a free house out of it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Also, double dipping there. You know, huge XP plus you get to spend the money. It would.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it'd be a little much. Anyway, the two of you head off to go buy some goods. How much money do we have? Where is your money?
We're absolutely stacked.
We're
right
giga
now.
loaded.
Right. You're giga loaded.
It's all in our house hoard.
Right. So you
Yeah,
gotta
I
like
think our
go through
dwarves
all
are
those
looking after it.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've got to
No one
go
on
through
that
the dwarves.
dwarven construction team would steal from you, right?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I don't have much gold on me. Do you, Pigeon, have any gold on you?
No, they stole it all. So like, we got it all stolen.
Fucks.
Now we
Okay,
need
so
to get our shit back.
We do have to get back
And
to the
now
house
we
then.
need to have a conversation of, well, where are we going to hold all of our shit while we wait for the dwarves to finish up for a few months?
No, I mean, I think we can leave it in the lair, no?
I'm
It's probably
telling
safer
you
there than anywhere.
that Neil is going to have some dwarves steal some stuff, and then you're going to feel like a fucking actual fool.
Yeah, but what else are we going to do?
Okay. We leave it in the lair, Neil. I don't care.
Great.
Pigeons aren't
Well,
gonna think about it.
but where else are we going to put it, though? Because if we put it in our hotel room, then it's going to get fucking stolen from there, clearly. I mean, it's already
I'm
happened.
playing the dumb character, okay?
No,
I wouldn't
don't
bring
do
it up.
that. Listen, don't do that. You're not playing the dumb character. If you
Pigeons
think it's going to get,
Pigeons
if you think
not
it's
too
not
bright.
safe there, if you think it's not safe there, you can't just you can't do a Steven on this, you know?
No, but you have to play the character, and I rolled my thing, so now I'll bring it up. Hey guys, I think someone should probably always be with the treasure. I feel like, we got a lot of shit down here.
Oh, so you're suggesting we put someone on dwarf duty?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is this
Or
to the
what if
whole group, or
someone's-
is this just the two of you?
Probably the whole group, yeah.
This is the whole group.
Having
yeah,
a powwow at night.
All right. Well, then Percival will immediately chime and be like, "So, are you volunteering?" Wait, that's not his voice. So, are you volunteering to be on dwarf duty? Sit with those stinky feed little fuckers and keep an eye on the treasure?
Well, as we're a group, we all gotta take shifts. I can
No,
take
no,
the
no.
first one.
We're not Steel Team 5 and 1. We're Steel Team 6. We either all watch the treasure together, or we trust that it's safe. Right? Right, boys?
I
And
shake
Helmut
my
kind
head
of looks
no.
over at him. And, yeah.
You got the wrong end of the stick there. We can split up if needed. I mean, I trust the dwarfs myself. You know, like they're there on business. Like it's not. I know there's a lot of them, but there's not that many of them that we wouldn't be able to find out who did it.
Do you really want to spend a few weeks interrogating dwarves when we could just have one of us sit there?
I mean, absolutely not. Fine. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, we had Eraser, Percival, Lemon, maybe all three of you don't need to hang around in the tavern waiting for something to do. Perhaps one of you could go and watch the dwarves.
Well, I think I would rather, says Sierra, go and buy some weapons and armor and spend the money rather than sitting and watching the dwarves. Perhaps you would like to watch the dwarves since you're such a strong-bodied man, so capable of taking on any ne'er-do-wells.
I don't like to talk about my feelings a lot. But we're brothers, so I feel like it's okay for me to open up to you. When I was a child, my mother had an affair with a particularly ugly dwarf, and it caused my family to break down. And ever since then, I know it's not fair, but I just get uncomfortable around them.
I can handle the dwarf watching.
Good lad. Good lad.
Everyone
There you
looks
go.
to Pigeon and nods in improvement. That sounds great. Great. Good job, Pigeon.
All right.
I like dwarves.
Well, I'm going to go to the market.
Excuse
Pigeon,
me?
So I'll walk with
Says
you
Sierra.
back to the
Did
house.
you just say you like dwarves?
He didn't mean
I didn't say it in character. I didn't use the voice.
that. It's not in character. True. True. That broke my immersion there for a second. Almost. Okay, well, I'll walk Pigeon back to the house. I'll pick up some coin and then I'll hit the market. I'll meet you back here. I say to Eraser, Percival, and Lemon, who are hanging out at the tavern for any leads.
Yeah, they're gonna need some gear. I think a lot of them lost their stuff. Right?
We're intending to get our stuff back, so I don't think we want to replace each and every item. I think we need to buy what's necessary to survive for a week and to get our stuff back. So that
Sure.
might mean weapons.
Yeah, did everyone lose? Not everyone lost their stuff.
No,
It was like
I
three
believe
people.
I've lost my short sword.
Uh-huh.
I think that's really
do our
the only
monthly
main thing.
expenses cover this?
A monthly
lot
expenses
each
don't
month.
cover getting new gear. No.
Okay. Can we throw 500 gold at it?
Yeah, if we don't want a nickel and dime, you want to throw 500 gold,
Wait,
you can go.
500 gold.
Nick,
let
I don't
him-
want to sit
let
here
him
for
throw the
10 minutes of
money.
our fucking
Well, fine.
session.
Don't start 100 gold then. 100 gold is more
There's a
than
lot of
enough.
shit that we gotta buy. We have all of our things back. We've done it.
That's true. You could just replace all of your lost gear by snapping your fingers and spending money and then not chase after those red coats. Or you could chase after those red coats to get your gear. It depends on how you want to live your life.
Well, look, whether we need the gear back or not, we can't let them get away with this scot-free.
Agreed. I don't think
Okay.
it's about the gear at this point. I think we should just buy and replace our shit, and then we get back at them because chances are we're probably not going to find our shit anyways. And if we do, we can just sell it then.
Listen, man, I need a short sword, which is not 500 gold. So I don't know what else everyone needs, but it's just not 500 gold. That's all. That's just
Sure.
a ridiculous number.
But if there's six people and everyone needs a short sword, that's 120 gold
But it
there.
wasn't. But it wasn't everyone, was it? It was only 3 people, I think. It wasn't
Sure,
everyone's
but was
room.
it like a short sword and a dagger? Did anyone need armor? Was there
need
rope
chainmail.
missing? You need chainmail? Chainmail's hard to
No,
get. That
but
is expensive.
do you-
They took all
you
of our
need chainmail?
bags. I mean,
Did
at
we
least
even
I'll take leather instead. Like,
Did we even have our armor with us?
yeah, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Check your sheet.
Just perusing your sheep pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
They stole your bag, but not the stuff that you kept on you, right? They like came
Correct.
into
So
your
I
room
just,
at night
like,
and just
I only
grabbed
had
your
really
bag.
my daggers. Yeah,
Right.
that's why everything in my bag is gone.
And
I just don't want to get
Luther-
rich. Can we just settle for 100 gold?
I think the cost is probably a little bit more than 100, but definitely less than 500. Why don't we call it 100 plus D100, and we'll just see where it comes out after
Right.
shopping
I'm
around
gonna-
and what's available.
I'm gonna roll a 6. So. Okay.
No,
there you go.
137.
137 gold.
Great.
Okay.
We'll bring us down to 700 and something.
So
Great.
what do I actually get back though? Just a short sword and some chainmail.
Well, not the chainmail. Gods no. There's
Just a
no.
short sword.
You can get your short sword. You can get a backpack. What other stuff did you carry around on you? Because other people lost things too.
I mean, I think that's it, really.
That's all you want? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want a suit of leather armor.
Yes, that can be included in this
Okay.
cost.
Thank you.
I'll get some leather armor.
Leather
as well.
can be included. Perfect. That's 10 each, but that's fine. We're not nickel and diming.
And leather armor
Alright.
gives what?
3,
3. And
How,
how much?
how
do
much
I-
it weighs?
8?
10. Full leather is 15 and gives 3. 15 pounds. Yeah, and as usual, buying armor, it attracts a little bit of attention. There's nothing, undue about it. It's just the only people who buy armor are people who expect to be in combat. Usually it's shopkeepers and soldiers and that sort of thing. So when you go to the leather maker's place and you buy some leather armor, there's people around who will see that you are buying armor. They probably won't follow you. They probably won't know anything, but just as a heads up, as always, armor is sort of a special place in society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're ready to go then.
Great. So, Pigeon, you're staying at the house, watching the treasure night and day, it seems like.
I'm just chilling in the treasure room, I guess, talking to dwarves as they come in and out, and I'm telling them our plan.
And the rest of the party is over at, what was this place called? The something cup, the Crimson Cup, or the...
Rusty's Hook?
No.
No.
The
'Cause it's
new
by the
tower.
gates,
Oh,
right?
you're near the tavern. Got it.
Yeah, it was called King's Cocktail. That's it. You're over at the King's Cocktail, the 5 of you. Pigeon's back over there. Pigeon, this is going to be a long time. How does the
Wait,
group
no,
hang with
I
Pigeon?
just had a genius idea.
Oh yeah.
Instead of me sitting here, I'm just gonna pay whoever the lead dwarf is here. I give him 2 of our amber gems, okay? So I'm paying him 200 gold to watch our shit. So now the boss has been paid money to watch his workers and make sure they're not doing anything fucking wrong, especially. So then I can go, and I'm just gonna go hang out with the fucking...
Grease some extra squeaky wheels in here. Hey, you're already doing this for us. Here's some extra cash. Just make sure nothing goes wrong. Nice.
Done.
He takes your gems. Pigeon shows back
Nice.
up, having done this. The whole party's together again.
The dwarves finish soon, Pigeon. Should we get
I
moved
just-
back home if it's all done?
I just paid the boss guy a little bit extra, and now he's gonna watch him.
And
Money
there's you
talks.
saying you're not smart. Come and sit
Right.
down. Have a beer.
I drink
Oh,
2
actually-
beers.
I've just finished mine. Do you mind going to the bar?
I sit down.
Fucking kids. I stand up. Go and get around. Okay, so I sit back down to the bar. I put my glass down. And I look over to Helmet and Sierra. And I say, so, how's the information network going? You found some street rats?
Did you go hire those kids at the Rusty's Hook?
Well, I did go see some of those ne'er-do-wells over there. They're always eager for work. Problem is, when you hire people like that, they just don't have a sense of responsibility, They'll keep an eye out as long as that's what they want to be doing in that moment. So we got some of them. Found a couple of, loafers in these parts. Found some grandparents. Grandparents, they love hanging out on the street. On the street all day, all night, playing canasta or cribbage or hearts or whatever, They love the gossip. They love to see who comes and goes. So that's my
yeah, we
plan.
got our old
Get in
person
with the old
network going.
folks.
Genius idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Too bad
Yeah,
they
real
won't live too
genius.
long to work for a long time.
That's why they work cheap, because they can't do any other sort of labor.
So, if they've hoarded our shit back to the inner city, we'll probably never see it again. But next time they show their faces around here, what's the plan?
Everyone leans in. Eraser says, now there's the violent route, there's the non-violent route. Now we could just set an ambush, kill them, walk away, but then no one would ever know that it was us who did it, right? That doesn't send a message. That doesn't stop future problems. The goal is to let people know not to fuck with us, right? If we just kill everyone in silence, then we just have to keep killing people and then people keep fucking with us. We need to send a message to the city that Steel Team 6 is a new power in the house, and you best watch your step.
Well, we don't have to be totally non-violent. I mean, we could rough them up a little bit, and we could leave old Calpera there something to remember us by. Perhaps we could, cut her up a bit, scar her, maybe draw a 6 on her head or something like that.
I think that's too far. I think we should
pretty
get her
violent.
and yeah, that's crazy, Luther.
What do you mean?
I mean,
I think we should take her hostage and then we do the thing where we sell them back.
What have I
We
told you?
sell
You
her
can't
back
just take
naked.
people What? You can't just be doing that to people, Pigeon. What have I told you?
No, that's what we do.
We
Is
what
that
if
a
we
thing, Neil? Like to barter them back?
yeah. Hostage
what if
taking?
we well what if instead we beat them up, right? We leave the others in the street. We take Calpurnia somewhere else in the city. We tie her up to a lamppost. We strip her down and we all piss on her. Leave her there for the peasants to find in the morning.
I don't think we should.
You can see Eraser nodding his head
Yeah, but I know, I'm doing
enthusiastically,
it.
like yes.
It's for the boss.
Yes.
It's for the boss. He'd like
Oh,
it.
did
Yes.
you like that? You're right.
Oh, he likes it. He does like that.
Sierra says, "Well, look, I'm all for robbing, whoever, and if they put up too much of a fight and you have to stick them with a knife, so be it. And I'm all for humiliating the underlings, but when it comes to the bosses, humiliating a boss, a high-ranking person, usually invites vengeance back upon us. Now, we could humiliate Calpurnia's underlings, and that would, help appease her sense of, superiority. But humiliating her in particular, I wonder if that will just create more revenge. And they have all that nasty little magic going on behind those walls. I think you're on the
That's
right
true.
track, though. We do want to send a message to her directly. We need
We take her.
can't-
on.
She bust in here while we're feet up trying to relax and starts trying to kill us. We don't want to invite vengeance, but if we seem weak, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's going to try and take a pop. We need to show
Helmet
strength
bobs his
here.
head enthusiastically as you say this.
Well, what if we take her weapon? You think that's enough? Probably bash down.
I shrug.
I mean, she took all of our weapons, so we take one back.
Percival sets his glass down gently, looks up at the group and goes, "Look, I know the type. They're playing games, right? So you and I, this is life and death. To them, this is a game. You want to
man.
get them to leave you alone, or at least to not, fuck with you so much? You gotta play a game with them. Now you gotta set some sort of. You gotta catch them in checkmate and then let them go. You know what I mean?
I've
Catch
got
them
a
with their
plan.
pants down, just for the moral victory, and then walk away. They'll respect it.
Hear me out. You remember me telling you where we found that statue and those gems
Yeah.
in the old temple underground in Harroway, right? There's all sorts of things down there, but what they've got these like entombment drawers for the skeletons, for the dead people, and you can lock them from the outside. So here's what I'm thinking, because there's all sorts of undead down there, right? She'll be safe. We beat them up, we take her to Harroway, we lock her in one of those things, and then we let out some of the skeletons and we leave, and we just come back like 48 hours later. She'll be dehydrated, she'll be starving, she'll have heard skeletons trying to break in and eat her, and when we get back and let her out and she realizes that she's not about to be eaten, she'll be grateful. She might have learned a lesson. We don't kill her, we let her go back, but we'll have definitely made her scared. It won't feel like a game then.
Percival nods his head and points at you and is like, "He's got it."
Maybe 24 hours. 48 hours is a long time.
All right, 24 hours then, yeah. I mean, it'll feel like 48 if she's down there.
Yeah, she'll have no concept of time, really. She's just in a box.
Yeah, I like it. I don't even think we need the skeleton part, but if you want, we can do that too.
I mean, it adds to the drama of it, doesn't it?
I shrug.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Eraser?
Just as Eraser is about to give his stamp of approval, approaching her table from the door is a youngish woman, maybe 24, 23. Hotness check. I did GR instead of just R, but it's 15.
That's good.
Oh, baby.
Smoking.
It's a 50. Here you go. I'm just DMing it to you guys so you know. A beautiful woman walks into the room.
And
she's got the
whoever's next to me, and I say, check out the chebs on her.
Yeah, well, she's coming to the table, and she, approaches the table and puts her hands down on it just as Eraser is about to like approve the plan, and looks across the table to Steel Team 6 plus Lemon.
Oh,
Lemon's
forgot about
here?
Lemon.
Nice.
Yeah, well, she's in the wrong garb. Right, here we go. That's Lemon.
She's with the gang.
Yeah, she hangs
she's
out.
all dressed up, right? Because she made. Who's she with? Is she with Percival?
It's all of us.
I mean, when you're a roadie and you're following the
Sierra,
band
Sierra.
around.
Yeah. But she made Sierra buy her a bunch of like fancy clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, this woman comes up, and she's got like a little copper brooch on her lapel. That lets you know that she's with the Copperheads. She puts her hands on the table and says, gentlemen, ladies, I'm Catrice. I would love a moment of your time. Do you all have a moment to talk with me?
I got a moment for you, baby.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll give her a nod.
I've been
I kick out a chair
sent.
for her to sit down.
Thank you. She'll pull it out and take a seat. I've been sent by Angus Smelter, my boss, to invite you to a meeting. I think there are some crossed aqueducts here, crossed canals, and it would be nice to maybe clear the air and sort things out before anything gets too terribly out of hand. How would you feel about a meeting?
I look to the boss.
Yeah, I look to the boss.
The boss looks to her. What sort of meeting? Simple face-to-face in a temple. We'll have a chat. We'll clear the air. We'll set some expectations. We can discuss our differences. And we can all go our own ways.
I lean in to whisper to Eraser.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, if we're going to do this, we need to do it on neutral territory. Redcoat or Demon
Temple
Slayer.
Guardians.
Yeah.
Eraser taps his fingers on the table and says, well, my boys put up a good point. This needs to be on neutral grounds. And she says, well, the last time we were on neutral grounds with you, we were attacked. We think...
Listen,
That's an
baby,
accusation.
it's not our fault if your guys are so chicken shit that they shit themselves.
This is why we'd like to have a nice
you don't know what a real
chat.
man looks like.
I want to gauge Eraser's face when Luther says this. I want to see if he's pissed. What do you want?
I just want a charisma check from you.
Oh, natural 20.
You can see that Eraser is kind of head in the clouds. Like this woman, what did we say? 15 hotness? She's his type. She's kind of polite. She's coming to the table. She's being courteous, but she still has her shit together. And you can see Eraser's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, it's like the boss is preoccupied. Okay, I kind of nod. I'm glad that
wow.
Luther's leading. Him.
Yeah, and then he's like, we could talk. A trustworthy meeting. Seems fine.
Dinner?
A temple. Yeah, someone said dinner. We could do it over dinner. Maybe some wine, some candles.
I side-eye Eraser a bit.
Catrice looks to the party. There is a temple on the east side of town, a new hill, sacred space. How do you feel?
That's right in the middle of Copperhead territory. You got to think we're stupid.
What do you think is going to happen in the middle of Copperhead territory?
What do you think I think's going to happen?
I haven't the foggiest idea. We're inviting you to parlay.
How about
We'll provide dinner.
How about we have a meeting with the watchful eye of the pitmen? We know a spot, and I'm sure we could get them to broker a meeting.
Angus doesn't like to leave the hill. But you should trust him. Angus Smelter. He's been, Didn't he used to employ your mom, Pigeon, over at the Old Vic?
Have I ever met him?
I don't think you've ever met him. But he is the head of the Smelter family, and the Old Vic is like the Smelter family hangout. So like he technically owns it at some level. He's lived in the old neighborhood for years and years. Shouldn't be afraid to come home.
If Mr. Smelter has such good intentions and wants to broker a fruitful relationship with Steel Team 6, then I assume you've brought some sort of gift or a token of goodwill.
I come unarmed, bearing a symbolic olive branch, but I didn't bring a real one with me. Should I tell him that there's no meeting to be had?
Well, if he's too scared to leave his hill, then that does make things more difficult. Perhaps we could meet with you somewhere else.
I wish I had the authority to broker any sort of discussions, but it's not my job. I'm just a simple messenger. She kind of looks back over.
What do you think, Eraser?
Well, I mean, we're talking about connections, community, conversation, keeping ourselves safe, the future. Tell me, Catrice, what about your future? Do you have one? Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
Just a horn dog.
And she kind of brushes it off, being like, well, there's a lot of potential in my life. I wouldn't want to close any doors at this moment in time. I'll go back to my boss and tell him that you're open to a conversation, but that you need a different place to do it.
Yes, or at least some reassurances.
What sort of assurances might work for you? Do you have anything in mind?
That we'll be allowed to enter and leave freely. That we won't be accosted. That we won't have to give up our weapons.
Well, my father always said you can have my dagger when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. I expect you to follow that same concept. I wouldn't dare ask you to give up your weapons unless I was giving up mine. I think that's pretty standard practice. We'll see if we can't arrange a more neutral place.
Temple Guardians, we've done them before.
We have worked with the Guardians before. Perhaps we could rent one of their temples for the evening.
I feel like that would be big business for the Temple Guardians, actually, is like brokering talks.
Catrice puts her hands up and says, okay, well, I'll go and I'll deliver this message. Why don't you all have a real nice evening?
All right.
She gets up.
Nice seeing you.
And she walks out. And can I get a D20 from each of the party members?
As she walks out, I give her a wolf whistle.
Ooh, natural 1. Nice.
Natural 1.
Go from 20s to 1s.
Bam.
Yeah, as your wolf whistle's the same as cat call?
I don't know. Yeah, like a woo woo sort of thing, but a whistle. You know.
Got it. Yeah. As you're whistling at her as she heads out the door, you can see that she like makes a gesture to someone who was waiting on the other side of the street outside the door that like, she's okay and that everything went well. And they both head off in separate directions, leaving the tavern.
Interesting.
In the streets.
Okay.
Eraser afterwards kind of looks over at you and goes, hey, treat the lady with some respect. That's a proper lady right there. Do you see that? The grace and pose. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't intimidated. She came here like one of the guys and just she was cool and smooth.
She'd make a fine wife for you, sir.
I don't know. Is she going to let you piss on her every night? I'm not sure. She seems too classy for that.
Hey, who said anything about that's a weird fetish.
It's not weird. It's just what some people are into. It's
Are
fine.
you into that?
He's not into that. He's not
Oh
into
my
that.
god, that's
I'm not
so gross, dude. Who would be into that?
I don't know.
Disgusting.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Listen, you grow up with a whore as a sister, you see some things.
Hey, don't call my mom a whore.
Sorry, prostitute.
Thank you.
There's much joking and joshing around the table, and everyone sort of settles back into a comfortable mode,
no.
but keeps tossing looks
But
towards that
throughout
doorway.
the night, I need to catch Eraser when he's on his own.
Yeah, not a problem.
And we've had a few drinks, we're getting on. And I, in a casual, laid-back way, I just say, boss, careful, don't get your head too turned by that copperhead chick. You need to keep your head in the game. This is, we kind of screwed those guys over. We need to be careful.
Yeah, but I've been thinking a lot. Luther, I never thought that we'd get this far. When I put SEAL Team 6 together, I never dreamed I'd have a lair of my own, platinum and gold coins enough to make a tiny swimming pool,
Yeah, it's been remember where those coins came from. Her boss.
Yeah, totes. But also, like, what else in life, huh? That's not enough just to have some money. You gotta have someone to spend it on or to spend it with. Have you ever thought about retirement, Luther? Where do you want to be in 10 years from now?
Out of this hellhole, I say, looking around. There's got to be better places in the world than this city. But, listen, boss, you're rich. You're a good-looking guy. You've got a lot of skills. She's hot, but, she's dangerous. There's plenty of women in the city. Plenty of safe women, unaligned. You don't want to...
I don't want a safe life. I didn't pick this job and this path because it was the safe and easy choice, Would have gone to the clergy if that's what I wanted. No. A lot of women out there, a lot of folks, a lot of options. But I'm not looking for something that can be bought or something that just falls in your lap. Don't you think? Maybe I'm just got my head in the clouds. Maybe all this money's going to my head.
Cup, mate. I think you've got your head in your cup a little bit. I think let's.
Oh, he's drinking too much. He's a little sad.
The money's got to you a little bit, But gotta remember as well, we've just made a huge down payment in our future. Huge investment.
We bought land. We're landowners.
That's right. Well, Percival is at least. But if you pulled out now, you'd lose all that value.
Would we though? Couldn't we just settle down and live a nice, quiet life? We got a lair. We've got enough money that we couldn't, we could spend it for the rest of our days and be satisfied. We could just.
But what's the point of building a skeleton pit if there's not going to be anyone to fall into it?
Oh, God, you're right.
Yeah, there we go.
He comes back to the table with you and sits down, and he looks sort of torn between things, and he looks around. Everyone's like, so guys,
I give a reassuring nod to the table as if to say, like, I've spoke to him. I've straightened him out.
I've been talking with Luther about the future, where we want to go, what we want to do, and I'd like some feedback from the group here. We are so concentrated on making our money, and I never thought what we're going to do with it once we have it. And now that we've got it, we're building a lair. We're building a skeleton pit. Love the idea with the skeletons and the putting people in tombs and bringing them out, by the way. Love the idea. Fantastic. Team's doing great here. Where are we going? Where is Steel Team 6 in 10 years? Are we even alive? I didn't think I was going to be alive 10 years ago, but here we are. And times are passing. I'm getting older. We're all getting older.
I want to start an organization here, and I want to get into the inner city.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to make him
live
repaint the
good.
map.
Like, you want to become a member of the inner city? Like, you want to be one of the fancy people on the inside? Is that
We're
your
gonna do
dream,
more than
Pigeon?
that. We're going to own the inner city.
You want to be a king?
Kings. A lord, maybe. Take money from the businesses there. Make sure that they're safe and protected. Yeah. Have the ear of all the important people. If the crown ever does sort itself out, I want to be in a situation where they need to talk to us before they make decisions.
Well, I want to help.
He thinks.
Help?
Help myself. Yeah. I want to have a huge house and a big swimming pool and 10 girls.
Fuck yeah.
And
Percival.
I think,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, I think getting into the inner city will help me accomplish that goal.
Percival pipes up and goes, I just want to live life on my terms. I don't care if there's money. I don't care if we're poor. I just don't want anyone breathing down on my neck from above telling me I got to go this way or that way. Nod. Sierra says, well, I don't mind when someone tells me what to do, but I do want a sense of adventure, and I want beauty and fun and excitement. I want liveliness. I want it to be a party that never ends. And we have enough money right now that we could do that, but there's some level of adventure that you'll always need more money for. I'm in it for the lifestyle, sort of like Percival. The helmet bobs along. Like a better helmet.
Helmet, we could get you a better helmet.
You should have
Yeah.
seen the one that the guy we killed had. It was great.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Helmet, we can go and get you a helmet tomorrow. What do you want?
I want a visor that goes up and down with gems across the whole thing.
Nice.
And a little faceplate that you can attach to put on masquerade ball masks with, so that way people wouldn't recognize me.
That's sick. Well, I don't know about the gems, but the rest of it we can do.
I want that too.
That's his thing, Pigeon. Don't take his thing. He didn't mean that. Helmet.
Helmet shrugs. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, says Eraser, we've all got our dreams and our hopes. Let's find a way to make these things happen. I think we've all also got some duties to attend to.
Well, what do you want, Eraser?
Well, hang on, actually, there is one thing that I want that I think is quite imperative. I want Lemon to go to the fucking bar for once, I say, looking at her.
She looks at you kind of lazily across the table and then puts one ankle on the table with a dainty shoe with tiny straps on it and says, my feet are killing me in these heels, darling. It's very
She's
hard
got
work
terrible
looking this
con.
nice.
I look at Sierra.
Sierra just smiles like this is the adventure that he's looking for.
I stand up again to go to the bar, walking past Lemon, and I knock her feet off the table.
Ooh, you go to knock her feet off the table as she raises her glass to be like, could you get me one, sweetie? And you poof, knock the feet. She kind of stumbles forward with a giggle and a laugh. And she is going to attempt a blind swat around the chair to give you a smack on your butt. 1d20, -4 because she can't see, but +2 because Lemon definitely has
I'm surprised.
bonuses to hit smacking butts. And it's a great roll. Yeah. So you
nails
knock
it.
her feet, but she does nail you with the booty tap. On
That's
the way
fine.
to the bar.
I'll take that. I'll take
Yeah.
that. I go to the bar again for the 4th time this night. I mean, listen, there's 7 of us.
Yeah.
That would imply that we've had 28 beers. We've not had 28 beers, so
We've
I've
not
been
had
to the
28
bar
beers.
too much.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track of this thing. I go to the bar. I order some drinks. I sit back down. I do get Lemon a drink, though, because I'm not an arsehole.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get her a drink. She blows you a kiss. There's some, fun back and forth, but there's no hurt feelings here.
Yeah.
It's a team. All right. Well, why don't we take a break right here? We're going to come back on the other side with a little bit more Hardly Heroes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Heroes. So, the night comes to a close. The morning arrives, the hangovers arrive, and you sleep through them because you don't have much to do with your days, right? You can just kind of lollygag around. You can wait months. You can just order room service. Lemon
We're
will
rich.
pick up things and bring them to everyone's room. She kind of helps cater to people's needs in the morning.
Oh,
She might
you
be-
didn't
useful.
explain. You didn't explain this, and I'm starting to like
Well,
having Lemon around. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she's keeping her worth.
She has a lot of functions. One of her primary functions is sort of arm candy for the party. One of her primary functions is a little more visceral for some members of the party, but she's
Jesus.
not completely without more gentle
A
sides.
feminine touch on the ideas is good too.
Yeah, there's some chastising, there's some silliness. She gets to kick her heels up and let other people do the work, and then she'll come along and help out here and there as needed. She's absolutely here for the money, but she's a good bloke. Is that a phrase I can use? She's a good bloke.
Yeah.
no,
She's a good
No.
bird.
Bird?
bloke is man.
Yeah, but you can't use bloke like you do guy. You can't just like switch it out. No.
No, she's good lass.
Good
Good
lass.
All right. She's a
a
good
good
lass. Okay.
She is. Yeah.
Couple days later.
Can I get HP for this time?
Yeah. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right in front of me. Why don't we pick up 3 HP?
Mute. Marvelous. I'm at full. So during these 3 days, then I assume, they're out speaking with their information network and such, looking for, well, basically, we want to know if this person leaves the inner city. That's our goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this person might not always leave the inner city, or she might
Fine.
leave, and someone doesn't see her, or they do see her but they don't get back to you. It's a. These things take time, right? A lot of things they take time in the olden days. You can't set up the perfect systems that we like. So we're just passing through some time. Was there something particular?
No. I just want to make sure that we're actively putting the word out on the street.
Yeah. Yeah, your party members, when they're not, nursing their hangovers, are going around and checking in on their informants. You've bought some gear for the party. I think you probably still have to go down to the candle maker shop, which was on the other side of town. You didn't get to it, so you could take some time and go pick up the extra candles that are needed, or whatever it is that everyone's got some things to do. They're taking their time to do it. But on this day, one of these informants, one of these ne'er-do-wells that you picked up in Rusty's Hook, has a potential lead for you, and the party brings him around. Who's in charge
What
of
do you got for us?
Who's in charge of talking to these folks?
Probably
Helmet and
Percival.
Sierra.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Right? Yeah, because
Sierra's
Eraser
good.
and Percival are acting on leads. Helmet and Sierra are establishing the information network. Right. So Helmet and Sierra come to the party one day after you've had this 3 HP and says to the party, ladies, gentlemen, we've got an option. Can we get the whole group together? We need to talk this over with this little helper that we found.
I'll go and get Pigeon. I'm going to get Pigeon from upstairs where he's doing something unsavory, I'm sure.
Banging lemon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. Come downstairs. We need to
All
talk.
right.
I
I'll
close
see you
my
later,
eyes.
Lemon.
Yep. You head downstairs. That's not the right track. Where's our serious music? It's down a little bit lower. Excellent. We get down into the tavern, and we've cleared people out. I shouldn't say we've cleared people out, but we've moved people from a corner, put some stuff, put some chairs up on the tables near the corner, and place some silver coins on the chairs to just kind of tell people to stay the fuck off. And the group gathers in a tight little corner of the King's Chalice, was it?
King's Cocktail.
The King's Cocktail, thank you. I knew it was drink reference. And there's this young man. He's kind of mousy looking, curly brown hair, gentle rounded features, innocent eyes. He's got to be 19 years old, maybe. He's got one of those faces where he looks young, but maybe he's quite a bit older. Helmet and Sierra say, "Everyone, this is Tim.
Hi,
Tim here
I give him a mean look.
has a bit of information for us regarding Calpurnia."
Oh, why didn't you say so? My demeanor lightens.
Mm-hmm. Tim, would you like to tell everyone what you've heard? And Tim, kind of sensing, he's finally in it. He's finally part of something big. They even moved chairs for him, and everyone's gathered around, focusing on what he's got to say. This is his moment.
Can I just check? So this is one of the guys that's like hanging around at Rusty's hook, trying to get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Tim. My grandma is a gardener. She is an award-winning gardener, one of the last ones around who really knows her way around roses. City's gone to shit. He looks to make sure like it's okay to curse. And a lot of the roses are dead, but my grandma kept hers alive through all the sieges, through all the warfare, through the starvations and the hungers and the robberies. She's kept her roses blooming. Well, last year, my gran was approached by someone from the inner city who said they liked her work so much, they liked her roses so much, they wanted her to come and tend to their roses in their garden in the inner city. Well, when Mr. Sierra and Mr. Helmet over here were talking to me, they said you were looking for a redcoat named Calpurnia.
That's
Just
right.
so happens my gran tends the roses at Calpurnia's estate. And he sits back like he's played his ace card. Now he's gonna get paid.
I look around the others to see if they are having some face like, wow, that's really useful. Or
Yeah, there's some like, oh,
I
hey,
nod, yeah.
actual
That's
connection.
actually good.
Any racer will.
So your
Go ahead.
grandma could hire us and get us in there.
Well, I don't know about all that, but she can see things on the inside. She can, hear things sometimes on the inside. If there's something in particular you're looking for, I might be able to get it out of her if the price is right.
I lean into Eraser and Pigeon if they're next to each other, and I say, maybe this is more of a long-term plan. We could pay this Tim and his grandma some gold over the course of a few months, see what we hear, find a way to really get back at Calpurnia. Or we could just find out the next time she's heading out of the city, or out of the inner city.
Racer nods. Thinking along. Percival will speak up and say, "Does your gran know that you're selling her information?" And the kid shakes his head and goes, No, she doesn't know anything. But she likes to talk. She loves her favorite grandson. I figure all I gotta do is bring up the subject and let her prattle on for a little while. She'll probably bring it up, or, I could ask certain things. Maybe she'll know.
What would you say if your gran was in on it, would she be open to that? Reporting back what she heard, doing maybe a little bit of digging around.
We could set your family up for life.
Gran's not super into. She's always talking about how the demon slayers ruin the world and how the gangs are ruining life for the normal people. I don't think she'd ever want to be a part of it knowingly, but unknowingly, well, that's a different story.
Well, why don't You go back to your Grand Tim and see what you can find out.
Does
And
your
come
grandma
back here.
love you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you her favorite?
Yeah, I'm her favorite grandson. You know, she'll talk to me, and
Eraser.
I'll be able to say and do, get anything from her. And
Razor, what if we hold this kid hostage? And we use him as a bargaining chip for the grandma. She'll do anything for him.
it's a short-term solution with long-term consequences, Pigeon. We can
It's
do
also
that if we
fucking evil.
want. But that's gonna define our organization for forever.
What if this kid's in on it? He hangs out at our place, is quote unquote hostage.
He shrugs. Sure, I mean, whatever gets the job done, but I like the way you're thinking, Pigeon. I like keeping doors open. Just like Catrice likes keeping doors open.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm thinking, how long's your grand been doing this job at Calpurnia's?
Little less than a year.
So she should already, I mean, if she were to learn interesting things in the day-to-day doing of that job, she should already know some interesting things. So, Tim, why don't you go back and speak to her, see what you can find out?
Well, I don't
and
know
then we
what
can
the
get
interesting things
a
are.
little taste.
Like, what do you need to know? What's interesting to you?
I'm interested in Calpurnia and what she's up to.
All right. Well, I can go ask Gran about Calpurnia. I can get a good long story about her, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, that all sounds useful to me. What we're really looking for.
He
Tim,
takes a deep breath and says, "But I want to be paid first."
paid for what, Tim? Having a conversation with your grandma?
Yeah,
You
knowledge
want me
is
to
power.
pay you to wipe your ass as well?
No, I
How much do you want?
I
Tim?
can get your mom to do that for me, he says, putting on a brave face.
I stand up from the table and I walk towards him. Does he cower?
Yeah, he sinks back in his chair, but like he keeps his chin up as you come over.
Yeah, I slap him across the face and then go and sit back down.
All right, Tim. How much do you want?
I want 50 gold for information about Calpurnia, who she is, what she's up to, how she does her stuff. And then I'll negotiate additional costs for more specific information.
Okay. People always start out at, their fucking dream that they can get.
Well, how do you feel about 15?
I'm taking a risk here. If anyone finds out my Gran's been slipping information, she could lose her job. Hell, she could be thrown in the dungeons. I think 50 gold's pretty good, but since this is an opening bargain, and you're just still getting to know me, call it 40.
30 and you got a deal. And we'll get you on the flip side, the other information.
He nods and stretches out his hand.
I reach out my hand and I'll shake it.
Okay. I'll go talk to Gran. Why don't you... He pauses, and then he smiles, and his chest gets a little bit bigger, and the dimples really show up on his face, and he goes, "Why don't you meet me in Rusty's Hook in 3 days, and I'll give you the lowdown."
Nice.
And on.
I think everyone else agrees.
Yeah.
And the kid is let to go. And then people
Yeah.
go and collect the silver coins and set them back down and open up the little bar corner again.
Okay, cool.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he?
People-
Is he? What's his hair color?
Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, brown
Is he
curly
redhead?
hair.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the curly hair, I don't like that.
What do you mean you don't like it?
What?
This kid
What
just
do you
gives me
mean?
like shitty, like smug. I don't know. He gives me like he's like a little rat.
Mm.
I don't like.
Yeah,
it.
like he shouldn't have spoke to me like that. That's out of order.
No. And then at the end, he's like smiling. He's got these like dimples and.
He's smug, isn't he? He's really happy with himself.
Yeah, I think we should talk him for the next few hours.
We need to bring him down a peg or two, I think.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We haven't given
Okay,
him the gold
good.
yet, right? He's getting it when he comes.
Yeah,
Right.
he didn't.
No one's been paid
Oh,
yet.
that's fine then.
We'll just mug him on the way out.
Yeah.
So everyone sits back down at the table now it's all cleared.
Nice work,
And Eraser
Sarah.
says, like you said, that was good work. Kid might be useful. Pigeon, good job talking him down. Money's kind of no object for us anymore, but it's good not to blow it too quickly. You know, on the unimportant things like information.
We don't want to be seen as mugs anyway. You know, we're going to be seen to getting value.
Now, how do we all trust this kid? You know, if his information's bad, then, whatever. We just don't pay him and we walk away. But assuming his information's good, do we trust him not to play both sides?
I think as long as you pay people well, they won't want to go out for another side.
Helmet says, I remember when I was just a young guy like that. There's nothing more that I wanted than someone's respect. I think we just got to give him a little bit of what he wants, and he'll fall over himself trying to get more of it from us.
That's very wise, Helmet. Very wise.
There's a lot going on under here, he says.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of head under that helmet.
Sierra, where does this Tim fella live, do you know? Is he from, like, near Rusty's Hook?
I don't know. I just put the word out with Helmet to a couple of young folks out there, lads and lasses in Rusty's Hook. And, they gather from all around, this place and that. He said he that his grandmother really hated the Demon Slayers, so I assume they must be living somewhere in Demon Slayer area. If you don't have, if you know anything about rose gardens, you don't just pick them up and move them. So, what I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's legit, but, if Capernia has a gardener who lives in the outer city, we've been putting word out on the street that we're looking for her. She knows that we're looking for her, so we shouldn't totally discount the possibility that she might have thought, oh, well, my gardener might, have a nephew or something that I could use to plant a seed of misinformation.
Eraser strokes his chin. Think this Tim could be a mole?
Probably not. I think if he was a mole, he'd have been more careful with the way he was acting.
Agreed.
Nodding of heads, yeah. I also don't think he would, He seemed nervous, and then he seemed really satisfied. Like he liked what he was doing.
Yeah.
He's just some kid.
He's given too much away to be a secret agent.
I think he's one of us,
But you're right. We should be careful how, this information could flow both ways. We should be careful how we talk to the kid.
I think depending on what he tells us, around here, there's got to be loads of people that know Capernia. Maybe if we could cross-reference a couple of things just to put our mind at ease, find someone with a sympathetic ear, we could find to confirm a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe does she actually have a gardener who works in the outer city? Like, where does this kid actually live? Like, is that actually his grandma?
Yeah. Up until now, we've been busting chumps around the city, wheeling, dealing, flying by the seat of our pants, sticking up, those that we could get our hands on. But a ploy like this, I'm all of a sudden feeling the need for more soft power, for more to know what's going on and who's doing what. I feel like we need a better lay of the land. Hell, I couldn't even give you the names of 10 noble houses in the inner city off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, we never had to worry about that before, but we're moving up in the world.
He looks over
I
at
think
Percival.
now's a good time to broach the idea. If we want to move to the next level, there's only 6 of us, and I know it's Steel Team 6, but what if there was like a level below us for people like Tim? People that we work with that we can hold under our umbrella, get them to do some more of the legwork for us, offlay some of the risk, Eraser, give you a little bit more time to enjoy the finer things in life.
think you're
You know what I
right.
mean? If
Think
we
you're
want to
right.
know what's going on in this city, we can't do that with 6 people.
And as we've seen, we need someone to watch the lair. We got some dwarves doing it now, but one day they're going to be gone. And then when we leave, the lair's, what, just open? I'm sure we'll lock the doors on the way out, but some of those defenses we built are only useful if we're in there at the time that it's being attacked.
Some of them, yeah.
Maybe each member of Steel Team 6 can have some underlings.
We each have our own
Underlings.
crew.
We'll each have our own crew, but it'll be us 6.
Underlings. He thinks to himself.
Minions.
Minions. We could use some folks like that.
We
That's
could keep,
expensive,
you know-
right? How much we got to pay these people to do these things? Now, we got
Well, no,
money.
that's
We got lots of
not
money.
how it works, right? We put them out on the street. We let them make money. And they kick it up to us.
That only
But that
works
with-
if we've got something to offer them, right?
Yeah, we're giving them the leads.
Mm.
You know, we're offering them protection. You know, some random thugs on the street's not going to fuck with them because Luther and Pigeon are going to turn up at their house.
I don't want to just go around, beating people up for fucking with kids in the street. I didn't get into this to just be a thug and a brute for an enforcer. I like the idea of the underlings, but then what's our day-to-day like? Huh? One of our underlings says someone beat us up and now we got to go track that person down and beat them back up. That seems like a step down lifestyle wise. But I like the underlings. How can we maintain a smooth, enjoyable day to day and still get people to do our bitch work for us?
The thing is, Eraser, in my mind, life on the street, it's a violent thing. Everyone's out for what they can get. And if we want to be a player here, we need to have violence on our side. If people think they can take advantage of us, they will. We need to be seen to be strong, to be dangerous, to command respect. Otherwise, our underlings are going to be double dealing and be working with the redcoats.
Percival and Helmet nod, emphatically with you. And Eraser sees that the three of you are all in agreement. Sierra is sort of looking off in the corner at something that's hanging on the wall. And then he looks over at Pigeon. Pigeon, what are you doing?
Pigeon's about to make a suggestion as well that
Do
I
it.
think goes along with Luther's.
What if we find people who are down and out, maybe someone who's, I don't know, dying on the street or whatever, and we bring them back and they idolize us and then want to be with us? Get them in a cult of personality, kinda.
Depending on the task, maybe, but kind of guy that finds himself dying on the street? Is that
Yeah,
really
he's not
somebody you want to be
reliable.
entrusting with things? We need good people.
Anon.
All right. I've always been more of a showboat than a fighter, but I think you're right. I think at this point in the game, I think maybe a little bit more force is actually needed.
I'm not saying we need to kill anyone. What we need is for people to think that if they cross us, that we'll kill them. Now, to get to that point, we might have to, we might have to dole out a bit of justice, but it's only what they do to us if they had the power in their hands.
No, you're
We need
right.
to build respect
right.
on these streets. It's a fucking shit show out there.
You're right. We
Luther
should
leans back in his chair.
make sure that we've got the respect and that no one's going to screw with us. And I say we make a point of it. We got to find someone before we talk to this Tim kid again. We got to string him up, put him somewhere public, make everyone know that this person suffering this fate because they crossed us. Now, who has crossed us so far that we could string up? Has anyone? Do we have any enemies?
Calpurnia.
Alpernia.
Yeah, but we can't string her up before we talk to Tim. We need to talk to Tim to get to her.
I'm not worried about. I don't think Tim's got. I don't think we need to be worried. This is more big picture, I think we can handle Tim. When it's only one, we can keep an eye on him. We can keep a close eye on him. It's when there's 50 of them, then things start to slip through the net.
All right.
The Copperheads are our enemies, kinda. I mean, Rat
That's
Boy came into
true.
our lair.
Well,
Do I
don't
know
say
his name,
that.
Rat
You'll
Boy?
upset Racer. Oh, he's dead though, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we chuck him in a moat?
Yeah. He's sleeping with the fishes right now. It's a good
Well,
phrase. I might
keep
say
an
that
eye
more
out. Keep an eye out for someone who we trusted that screwed us over, so that we can make a demonstration. I think this Tim kid's got something going. We should hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Calpurnia, everyone in this town, everyone in this section of town knows that Hera and her guys rolled up on us and attacked us while we were here. We need to respond to that. People are saying it out on the street.
And
I
yet
think
we're
the skeleton plan is fine. You know, we find her, we lock her in that tomb, we make her beg for her life, we scare her half to death, make her think twice about messing out here in the outer city. Maybe she should stick to her flowers and her roses in the inner city.
All right. Well, let's go talk with Tim in a few days. We'll find a plan to action upon Calpurnia. And the Copperheads. We haven't heard back from them yet. It's been a few days now.
No, but we should start sticking together and keeping our eyes out, because they might be planning something against us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, another thing we should be doing in the houses round by where our lair is, you know, we should be continuing with the parties. You know, we should be using some of this gold. Like, if there's some families struggling to eat, you know, we should help them. Let's give them some gold. Let's build up some goodwill.
Yeah, let's
in the
build up our
neighborhoods.
neighborhood.
Yeah. We want our people around us to have our back.
It's a good fucking idea. That's a good... You know what? Let's get out of this joint, he says, getting to his feet. Let's go spend some
our
money.
Local bar.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. We head
gets
back
up.
across town.
Half
Yeah,
a
we
block
want
down the
people in our
street,
neighborhood
someone's
to know, if
where's
they need
Lemon?
anything, they come to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well,
as we're walking by, Neil, wait, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm feeling in character here. Do we walk past any jewelry shops? Or some people selling
In
rings
this
and
town,
stuff?
you know, you don't really... The jewelry is rarely openly on display. There are shops that you can go into where there will be jewelry, but there are going to be guards. Any place where there is wealth on display, you will have a...
Oh, I'm not trying to steal. I
Okay.
want to buy, like, an ostentatious... like a sovereign ring.
Yeah. You want to buy an
know what I mean by that.
ostentatious piece of jewelry? That's in the green zone. That's right where we are, right where you're heading out of.
Exactly. You know, something like this.
Oh, we got...
That kind of style of ring, you know, like quite big on the finger. Not
Like
like
a
exactly
signet
like
ring?
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd call it a sovereign ring, but yeah, maybe a signet ring is another word for it. Kind of ring that says, "I'm an organized crime."
Bring it
That's
into...
that's the vibe it's giving me.
Boom. Something like this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You can pop in here. A ring like this is usually made out of brass, because it's... or bronze. Now, they can make them out of gold if you want, but they don't have any of those on display. Now, if you can talk to them, you can be like, hey, this brass signet ring or sovereign ring, I'd like something like that, but in gold. Is that the plan here?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Great.
I'm happy to come and pick it up at another time.
Yeah. If you want to design a certain design, you can come back and pick it up in a week. If you just want whatever they've got on hand right now, we can get you something right now.
Yeah, I'll just pick something. I'm not like precious about a specific design.
Okay. It'll be 30 gold for the ring.
No worries. I pay that.
Excellent. Speaking of cash, do we all have pocket money, or are we just pulling money from the house hoard every time we need cash?
Usually house forward. I can put pocket money on myself, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would you
I'm
guys
gonna
carry some
I'm
amount
gonna
of pocket money? So that way when
I'm
I...
going to take 50 gold, and I'm going to give myself 20.
Perfect.
So I count for the 30 I just spent.
Perfect.
I'll take a good bit. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna take 47.
Perfect.
Even numbers, nice.
Yep. So as long as if you have more than 50 coins, I'm going to assume that some of it is in your backpack and you've got 1 coin purse on hand. Because a coin purse holds about 50 coins.
Whilst I'm visiting as well, I deposit 10 silver.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Okay, I took 100 platinum and 47 gold.
Oh, nice. And that 100 platinum and 47 gold, you're keeping the 100 platinum in your... Okay, 2 bags for platinum in your backpack or on your waist?
I'll keep 1 bag of 50 on my waist, 1 bag of 47 of gold on my waist, and then 1 bag of 50 in my bag.
Okay, and then you've got the 3 copper with that 47 gold?
Oh, I do have the 3 copper.
You have 3 copper.
I had it in the wrong spot. Yeah, that can be in there, sure.
Cool. All right, I'm going to put 50 platinum in your bag and 50 platinum on your person. There we go.
Wealth and Port will be my bag then, yeah.
Perfect.
100 platinum. Looking baller over here. Yeah.
Well, the party gets to their part of town, and yeah, your neighborhood, it's not that great. It's right near the abandoned territory. It's not too far from the ruins. There's multi-story houses. It's 2-story buildings in most of the places. Usually sharing walls, a couple of backyards here and there, a couple of freestanding buildings. And everyone in this part of town's seen better days, right? It's as far away from the green zone as you can possibly get. This little cul-de-sac right back here is probably one of the most impoverished parts of the whole town, right? Because this is awkward traveling area where there's monsters sometimes, and otherwise you got to go way the fuck over here.
So in this area, is there like a temple or something that people would visit on a regular basis?
There are some ruined or abandoned temples in the abandoned sections. And then there are some small street shrines that people have set up.
I'm trying to find if there's like a place where the community would gather. Like a church or a market or a town hall or something.
Mm-hmm. I think you're going to have to establish something like that because this part of the town's seen really hard days and they've lost a lot. And like there are abandoned things that would have fulfilled that function. But these days, this section is pretty free for all. It's pretty every man for yourself. That's why Rusty's Hook can function here.
Okay, I have a great idea then. You said there's some abandoned temples in the dangerous area.
Yeah.
Is there any that are close?
Yeah.
What if we kind of clean up and restore one of the old temples and find like a priest and like get some services going for the community? You know, we could do like a soup kitchen for some of the homeless people there. Things like that.
I'm down.
Like, everyone seems to nod along except for Percival.
Gather some volunteers to help fix it up.
And treating to the normal people. All of a sudden we got responsibilities and duties to the community. That's why I left that life behind. But look, you guys want to spend your time and money making some peasants happy? Chase your dreams, man. Chase your dreams.
Percival, you're not seeing the bigger picture, buddy. This isn't about them. That's about us. You know, we need to know that the people around here have our back. That if the demon slayers or the copperheads come asking questions, and they're not gonna
fuck us over, Percival.
Yeah, it's small change to us. A few gold here, a few gold there, a couple of afternoons, show our face, shake some hands, hold some babies, blah, 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 blah.
They might even bring us information.
And you're talking about my child like it's a dream. One for me, it's a nightmare I wanted to escape. You don't mind if I let you do all the handshaking and baby kissing and put your face big up on the street, do you?
Don't mind at all.
Not at all.
All right.
So, I think we should start with the soup kitchen. I think we should gather some down and out people, engender ourselves to them, and then get them to help us clear up the temple.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we like go and make some soup? Start handing it out on the street corners. Maybe at one of the shrines.
Fantastic. Am I understanding that you guys are going to go buy groceries and make soup yourselves?
That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Does anyone in the party have a cooking proficiency?
Oh, no, I can't make food.
No. But
Awesome. No, that's great. That's great. Because
Yeah.
anyone can make soup, right? You just throw some things in a pot with some water. It's going to be fine, right?
Can't we just hire someone to do this instead of us doing it?
Yeah.
And
I
they're
mean,
doing
yeah,
it on our
fine.
behalf?
Fine. If there's a soup maker that we can.
Yeah, we'll hire someone to do this, even if it costs extra gold.
Yeah. So this is what I'm seeing here out of character is a long-term plan, the day-to-day of which is very boring roleplay wise. Like no one wants to roleplay hiring a soup
100%.
kitchen worker.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's going to take some time to set up, and it's going to take some money to set up, and other things are going to be happening in the meantime. So I want to keep track of the storyline and not lose it,
Yeah.
but I
yeah.
also don't want to play it too closely. So
I think there's a little bit of upfront work, but then after that, it's kind of like regular maintenance more than anything else, you know.
all right, why don't you tell me how much money you want to invest into the community and how big of a community you want to invest it in, right? Like, because at 500 gold in like this tiny little square over here is categorically different than 500 gold in this giant area over here.
Yeah, I think we're talking more the first square than the second square.
All right, so we're talking just your very close nearby neighbors, just the people within like shouting distance from your house or a couple blocks from your house.
Yeah,
Your
like
little
a few blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, a few blocks. And I think that we could, I think like 500 gold or 250 platinum is a good place to start.
250 platinum's fine.
Yeah. That should get some wheels turning. I'm going to take it off the sheet now. So 500 gold going into that, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, so, but narratively, I'm going to start with a soup kitchen at one of the shrines, helping out the homeless folk. Also inviting, like, if you're not homeless, but, you've not got anything to eat, like, come and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and ask people about their families and stuff like that, especially if I start seeing the same people over and over again. How's the kids and all that. And then eventually restore the church, get a priest working there, get some regular services going, like try and really build a sense of community.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to try and establish some reputation. Excellent.
Because if everyone knows who you are in a good way, then if somebody crosses you, then that's when you start to get the reputation of like, don't cross them because, that person that everyone knows. Yeah. Well, someone tried to steal from them and then they ended up dead.
Right. When you're at a certain point, being unknown is a valuable quantity. And then at a different point, being unknown is actually a liability. And you want that reputation. You want people to respect you and your efforts. Great.
Yeah.
So while we're setting this up, the party's left the green zone up at the north in the red coat territory. We're hanging back down in Pittman territory near Steel Team 6's house. We're setting up our own little zone. Something's going to happen, but I just remembered something. This is technically Pittman territory in which you're setting this up. Is there any concern or any precautions that you need to take so that you don't garner ill will from the Pitmen, who are
No, 'cause we're
generally
cool with
pretty
them.
chill?
Yeah, I think we're chill with them. I did consider that, but it's not like we're going to start
We're not
doing
moving.
crime in their area. Yeah.
And they
Right.
set up our fucking huge ass dungeon, so I mean they know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're not moving in on their turf. You're not stealing their stuff. You're not supplanting them as responsible people in charge. You're just creating a subgroup within this zone.
Yeah. And I do sort of like wonder, like, are we expected to like kick up to them? I guess we're not, are we?
They haven't said anything about it, so
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
But okay. Yeah.
Great. Well, it's one of these days while you're over here. The soup kitchen's ablazing. Fires are cooking. Water's being hauled from wells over here. Potatoes are being peeled and chopped in. Everyone except for Percival standing around looking like, well, there's some folks in our little neighborhood. There's not a lot that are coming out here, but it's better than it was last week. And, let's shake some hands. Let's put some coins in some pockets. Let's get grandma some new dentures. I hear there's some real cheap horse teeth for sale over there. You see Catrice coming back, walking through the crowd, headed your way.
I whisper to one of the kids that's with me, helping on the stand. So the one who's like seems the most enthusiastic about, getting to know us and stuff like that. And I say like, just keep an eye on her after she leaves.
Kid gives you a couple of nods.
All right.
She walks up to the party in the middle of the street, not trying to hide. You'll see that she doesn't seem to be wearing any weapons or armor. She's got that like that short tunic look that most people have going on that shows that you don't have like things strapped to your arms or legs. She's not wearing long, loose clothes that show her as a someone as a player, someone that might be playing the game. She's looking just like an ordinary, regular citizen as she approaches you guys. Often a sign of like peaceful interaction. She approaches the 5 out of 6 of you and says, gentlemen, I've come back from my boss.
How is Angus?
He's well, thank you.
Well, what do you got for us, lady?
Angus Smelter has been a little offended by what you had to say. He made an offering that you come and visit him in the temple that he restored to talk business, to clear the table, and he feels that your response does not do him credit or justice. Now I'm just relaying words from my boss here, but the message is, who do you think you are to tell me where to meet? I'm Angus Smelter of the Copperheads. You're just some upstarts. I'm not meeting you anywhere other than where it's convenient for me. If you don't want to come to my temple and have a conversation with me, then I understand the sort of relationship that you want, and we can see that that happens. Just wanted to let you know how your words have been received and make you one more offer to come on over to New Hill today, meet with Angus Smelter in the person, in the flesh.
Can we have a minute?
Of course. I'm gonna get some soup if that's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not okay. That's for our people.
She can have a bowl. It's good soup.
She hops in line.
Some soup.
I gather the rest of us in a circle and I say, empty words, or what do you think, Eraser? Maybe we should go.
Maybe we should talk to her more. Well, he looks up from whatever he was doing. We don't have Percival. We can't go as 5. Someone would have to grab him. If we want to do it today, we got to go grab Percy.
Where is he?
I think he's back at the house. I think he's watching the dwarves. I don't know how he'd pick that over this, but...
I click my fingers at one of the kids and pull them out, motion them to come over to me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go to our house and get Percival? And I hand him a silver coin.
He takes it and bolts.
All right.
Good.
Well, guys, I don't think we should. I don't know. They're being mean to us.
Yeah, they're being arseholes. I mean, listen, I know this is before we were in Steel Team 6, but we killed that lockmaker. And then we attacked them in the street, robbed all their shit and used it to pay for all of this. And embarrassed them. I mean, there's bound to be some bad blood there.
What are they gonna give us? It's just gonna be like, they're just gonna shit talk us and they're gonna piss us off. I'd say we just ignore them.
Helmet bobs his head up and down. Yeah, I don't like it.
Because the best thing that's gonna come out of it is they're gonna be like, listen, we don't want you guys messing with us. We're not gonna mess with you anymore. But we're not even messing with them.
Okay, let's counter a proposal.
Well, hold on. I've seen words to say, says Sierra. from the gentleman's point of view, he is absolutely correct. He is Angus Smelter, and we are essentially nobody to him. He doesn't know us yet. He hasn't seen our efforts. All he knows is that his people were robbed by some nobodies, and it doesn't... I would understand if I were in Mr. Smelter's position. Upstarts telling me where to hold a meeting, I would be equally offended by that. I think it's a valid point of view that whether or not this is a good idea or a bad idea, I do think he's speaking truthfully, at least about the perception of power. And Helmet goes, yeah, but I still don't want to go.
If there's one thing we know about the Copperheads, they really fucking hate the Redcoats. We've got some beef with the Redcoats ourselves right now. Maybe Angus might see us more favorably if we shared a common enemy. Perhaps there's some ground there that we could see eye to eye on.
Okay.
Eraser chimes in. We could use more informants on the inside. We could use more kids of grandmothers going around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. If we go, though, we've got to hold our nerve. We can't let them disrespect us. There's, like you said, Sierra, there's a clear level of respect due to Smelter and his position, and that's fine. But we're not peasants. We're not dicks. They can't just fuck us around. We have to be united and show a strong front. We might not be equals, but we're still there at the table talking to him.
Eraser looks to Pigeon.
And on.
I think it's fine to have a chat.
Last time we can't meet them on their territory. What changed your mind, Luther?
Well, like you said, the way the woman's holding herself, the response feels genuine. If his goal was just to ambush us, they don't have to do that on Copperhead
They'd already
territory.
done it.
Yeah, they could have done that already. So
Seems like he does want to meet. I'll go get Percival.
sorry,
Or not
I paneled-
Percival, Sierra. Or was
I
it
paneled
Percival?
it. It was Percival, but I
you
sent
already
a
got
kid
it.
after him.
Kids, yeah.
You sent the kid. Perfect.
Sent one of my minions, my
I
little
remember
doves.
now, yeah. One of the kids that work near the soup kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, decision made. You guys can go find Catrice in line. She's got a bowl of soup. Now she's waiting for her heel of bread.
I go and get a heel of bread for her from the front of the queue
Mm-hmm.
and hand it to her. Save yourself waiting.
Okay. Have we made up our minds?
So I walk her back to the group and I say, we've been thinking maybe we acted a little bit too hastily the first time we met. We've considered it, and, Angus Smelter, Mr. Smelter, such a powerful individual that if he wanted us dead, I'm sure we'd already be dead. So with that in mind, yeah, we'll take a walk. We'll come and see him.
Excellent. I would be very pleased to hear that.
We're just, we're waiting for our friend. He should be here any moment. So enjoy your soup, and we'll get going soon.
All right. And she heads over to, some other section where there's other people around just to sit down and have some soup and, chat with the fine folks of this neighborhood. Get to know them a little bit, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, party, we can get ourselves together. What sort of things do you want to take? What are you bringing with you to Copperhead territory? Are you wearing armor? Are you
My
going
leather
without
armor?
it? You're going to wear armor all the way over there?
No, I'm not going to wear armor, I don't think.
If we're
We're
all
not
not going to wear it, then I won't wear it. Yeah.
We're not going to win a fight, right? We're in his place of, being... He's, the leader of a massive gang. We're just not going to win a fight, so why
think
bother?
that's
We
fair.
might as well go for maximum.
But I think it's also
social
nice to like
benefits.
show up looking like you're meaning business, right?
Yeah, so I think we should bring daggers.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should necessarily bring swords and armor.
I think you should bring your swords if that's what you use. I think armor's fine not to bring.
Okay.
Yeah, what does Eraser think?
Racer's sort of back and forth on this. Well, you guys both have a point. And we're going to meet this guy. We should be showing him the due respect. Respect that we're afraid of him. Not afraid of him, but, that we know he holds some power. But also the same sort of respect that, like... I think the armor's too much.
I think
In my
also
world-
not bringing the armor is a good idea, because it could look like we don't take him that seriously.
Mm-hmm. And in our world, there's the plan, and then there's what happens, right? You can go to a meeting with the best of intentions, but on the way, a fight could start between just random people on the street, could ruin the whole meeting. We walk around there with armor, maybe someone else who doesn't, who's completely uninvolved in all of this stuff, thinks we got something on us, makes a move. All of a sudden, we're in a fight in Copperhead territory for no reason, right? And as Luther said, if he wants us dead, like what? Some armor might help us get out of there, but if it's an ambush, yeah, I don't know if it's really going to make that much of a difference. We'll just take a couple more down with us, and I don't know if that's our plan.
I see Pigeon's point, though. Coming in with a sword, it means that we look like we can handle ourselves. But this guy knows we've got swords. He knows that we're capable of catching them by surprise and getting one up on him. He already knows that. We've proven that. So, my votes stick to daggers, no armor. But Pigeon, I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm not going to tell you what to wear.
I won't go in armor.
All right, we wait for Percival to turn up.
All right. Percival turns up. The party is gathered. He hears the plan. He looks around. Man, there's more and more responsibility with this group every day. All right, let's go. And he goes.
We
The
walk
party
off.
goes.
I fall back and chat to Eraser for a bit during the walk.
Yeah.
And I say, we've got to get a handle on Percival.
What do you mean?
Doesn't seem like his heart's in it.
Ah, come on. He just bought this house for us. He just married some chick for us. Percival's hardcore Steel Team 6. He's Steel Team 6 to the very end. We're just bumping up against some of his uncomfortable zones. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right? I mean, if he wanted out, he could have gotten out.
This is why you're the boss, Eraser. Very wise.
Yeah, right?
I walk forward a bit, away from him.
Question, though, for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we bring Lemon? I don't think we should bring Lemon. I don't think that's the right vibes.
Yeah.
I don't think we
Lemon.
bring lemon either.
We can leave her outside. She can wait for us.
I mean, I don't think we even bring her all the way over there. Maybe she gets hurt. Maybe we don't want everyone seeing her with us all the time. Maybe we don't mention anything about Lemon to Catrice.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's Sierra's girl anyway.
Yeah, she's Sierra's girl. And pigeons and helmets.
He's just a kid. He's just learning the ropes over there. I mean, it's hardly the same thing.
Yeah, she's not. You wouldn't tell Catrice that she was my girl, right? That's not something that would ever come out of your mouth.
I mean, of course not. I mean, listen, if somebody pours you a glass of wine, just because you have a drink doesn't make you an alcoholic, does it? If it's there, you're gonna have a drink of wine. Obviously,
Yeah.
so that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, but I haven't been drinking wine in a while. I'm
You're thirsty, and that's fine.
No, I'm not thirsty. I'm dry. I'm turning over a new leaf. I got, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I mean, listen, I wouldn't say anything to Catrice.
Good.
I pat him on the back.
Good.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting worried about Percival and about Eraser now.
I'm very worried about Eraser.
He's got his head turned completely.
All right.
This is deja vu. This is what it was like when Pigeon first met the woman from the bar, you know? That's all I could think about.
You know, love is a powerful drug, guys. It comes for us all.
Love, he just met her.
So what? You can have love at first sight.
That's true.
Don't be such a, you know, it is Raluna's blessing that he has been struck by this lovely,
beautiful
creature. Woman. You know, this night and day of his life. It's just, who's in the front as the party comes up to everyone? Or is Eraser leading the way?
Eraser?
Yeah, I guess the whole party just kind of congos on over. It's fine.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a break and we'll come back on the other side with another segment of Hardly Heroes.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Heroes. Our party of 6 gets led by Catrice all the way over to Copperhead territory. We're going north, up back through Pittman territory, through the Redcoat territory, and all the way around. I mean, you're on opposite sides of the city. You could go one way or the other. She just chooses not to go through the abandoned territory. Unless anyone has a problem with this route.
No, that's fine.
Can I get some more HP since it's been like another 5 days?
It has been another 2 days. So yeah, go ahead and grab an extra 2 HP.
29.
She seems pretty comfortable in the Redcoat territory, does she?
She's just wearing normal civilian clothes. It's one of those things you can don and then you can sort of walk around freely unless someone recognizes your face.
Yeah.
So she doesn't seem to have too much trouble crossing through this area with you guys.
Okay.
Can I get D20s from the 2 of you?
6.
13.
Okay. You will notice that Catrice didn't come alone again, that she came to talk to alone, but as she heads out with the party in tow, there's someone who seems to be looking at the lot of you, someone else who was with her, who scurries on ahead and sort of what's happening? Okay, cool. Here's the plan. Hurries back.
What's the date?
I gotta find a calendar. Hold on. I think it was on the 4th of November that you guys were in Martha's attic and the King's Cocktail. And then it was 4 days later that you met with Catrice.
Okay. Specifically on the 10th of February, I want to know what day that is because of this year that we're in, 30 redcoats on a Wednesday on the 10th of February appeared and jumped through the windows and shit in the taverns. So I want to be there with the gang for that in 3 sessions. Don't know why they did it. Maybe we'll be able to figure it out.
Wait, sorry, what?
Earlier this year, in game, on the 10th of February, 30 redcoats on a Wednesday were breaking into the tavern and throwing a party of some sorts. I got it on my character sheet.
Okay. I don't
so you want
to
go to that tavern and see if they're going to throw another party on the next February 10th?
February 10th, yep.
Yeah, okay. Remind me.
Oh, well.
As we get closer. But right now it was November 8th is when you saw Catrice. November 10th is when... Yeah. So 8 was Catrice 1, 9 was Timmy. Tim, the kid that you met with. And 10 was Catrice's second meeting. And tomorrow, 11, is when you're supposed to be meeting Timmy again.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. So the party gets to Redcoat territory, through Redcoat territory, over to the Copper Hill. Oh man, my words are so hard right now. Try this again. You leave your home. You go through Redcoat territory. You get to the Copperhead territory on the main street, on that ring road that goes round the city, around the middle of the city. There's a temple. They call it the New Hill Temple, just New Hill for short. And like the temple that you're restoring, this is a temple that has seen worse days or better days. The people here, the Redcoats here, the Copperheads here, have made an effort to repair it, to give it a fresh coat of paint, to scrape off the burn marks, to clear out the debris. There's a couple of cemeteries on either side, shops and houses up and along down the street. It looks like a real nice part of town. It looks like the Copperheads have put in some effort to making this place look nice. And you all used to live in Copperhead territory. Your mom, your sister, used to work for the Copperheads at the Old Vic. You've probably even been to this temple before. Hell, you might have had a christening or a birthday or some sort of religious ceremony has been done here, or at least you've walked past it. If you're the sort of person to get invited to a wedding, you're the people who are throwing a wedding would be talking about wanting to throw it in the hill, at that temple. It's a known spot. It's a big old cathedral too. It's like 100 feet long and 60 feet wide or something like. It's a big old building, multiple stories, bell towers and everything. The doors, 2 big doors on the front, open up into a nice atrium with a big old brass dish that's filled with holy water. I'm putting holy water in quotes here because holy water is a game item, and I don't want to confirm it's a game item, but for the people here, it's holy water, whether or not, it actually causes damage to the undead. Beyond it are these carpets and these pews and a big dais with a big statue up top of Seor. Seor, the god of crafting, who is the patron god of Copper Hill, a place known for their rich copper deposits, their smelting, their smithing, and their mining, striking of copper from the hills around them. It's their god. And up at the top of this dais, standing behind a nice big altar on which you might normally put scrolls or books or candles or censers or whatever, is a bigger, rounder man. He's not super tall. He's like 5'7". He's got brown hair. It's thinning up top. He's got this like purple cape that flows back over his shoulders. You see that he wears a steel breastplate that's like embroidered with silver and gold across it. Or maybe that's silver and copper. He's off in the distance. It's hard to see. But that's a clear sign of power and wealth and prestige to like be in your own temple in your own part of town and wearing this breastplate. And he also carries in his hand one of those like lordly rods. It's like a beaten. It's a scepter, yeah. It's got a little ball on each end and a copper rod that connects the two of them. He tucks it underneath his arm and holds it out in front of him. And he stands there, draped in wealth.
This is insane.
In this temple that he's restored. And leading your pack is Catrice. Yeah,
as we're going in though, Neil, I would like to, as if I were a US Marine visiting a cafe, I want to be aware of my exits, and I want to know like how many armed people there are that I'm walking past on the way up to this guy.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of it. Like, am I feeling like I'm surrounded by armed enemies?
No. Out on the street, before you even enter into the temple, there are people. Undoubtedly, some of them are Copper Hill gangsters. You don't know which ones necessarily are. They're not like, they didn't make a show of force as you arrived. But certainly there must be some around. The temple is empty, except for this dude and two bodyguards on either side of him, like 2 on the dais and 2 off the dais. So there's 4.
This dude?
He's looking pretty good. I mean, this guy's shining.
He's got 14 hotness. He's an attractive man. His wealth aside,
attractive dwarf, right? Yeah.
He's attractive.
Is he a man or a dwarf?
He's a man.
Angus Smelter.
Yeah, he's a man, baby.
Okay,
this
he's a
is
man.
for
Okay.
this is my
Fine.
floating fortress character. I've thought a lot about it. I want to make him a little bit hotter than whatever I rolled. I think I rolled like a 8. I want to make him like a 13. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna forget about that the moment
I'll
we
remind
move
you.
this conversation. Okay, awesome, sweet,
It's for the patrons, you know, they can get a little sneak peek.
got it. So you see this guy. You see Angus Smelter, the head of the Smelter family, one of the 3 families involved in the Copper Hill gang. And he stands up on this dais, which is 5 feet raised above the ground, where you guys are walking in on, and he waits for you to be led by Catrice up. She leads between the middle of the pews, which are empty. There's some rooms and some stairs. You asked about the lay of the land and whether exits and stuff, so I'm going to give you information about exits, Nick.
Yes.
There's 2 front doors that come on in, and then there's
That's where we came from.
yeah, there's some windows around those that have stained glass on them. Now, this is not necessarily meant as defensible, so some of these windows, in theory, you might be able to break out and squeeze through, but like the stained glass sometimes has narrow parts and thicker parts, so it would be a check to see if you can find a spot to squeeze through at any given time. There are a pair of staircases on the way in that lead up to, I think, like the rooftop or the bell towers or something like that up there. You probably haven't been all the way up, but it does go up. And there are like some, when you get to like the main area, there's like balcony seating as well. So those staircases must at least go up to that balcony seating, but they probably keep going. Who knows what's in the upper reaches of this area? You could probably find some place up there to escape or hide or whatever if you needed to. Okay. There are a couple of rooms down on the lower side, like 4 small rooms that come off of the main walkway before you get to the main area for like the 4 main gods. Like you got Aster and Martha and Malchus and Verasi, and they all have their little chambers. And then you've got Seor, who's at the back of the temple, who this is really dedicated to. And then you've got a pair of like wings on either side of this main hall where you can have like smaller private ceremonies, or you can have little statues to the other lesser gods that can be scattered around if you need to say your prayers to them or whatever. And then there's some more staircases there that lead also up to the 2nd floor. So it's a big temple.
Okay, it's massive. And he's in here alone, ostensibly, apart from these 4 guards.
4 guards, Catrice, and you guys. Now, since you are being careful, I will note that the doors to the Martha, Aster, Malchus, Verasi antechambers, atriums, little worship rooms are closed. So, like, maybe someone is secretly hiding behind these doors. Or maybe not. And lastly, there is a regular door to the outside to the left of the dais. It is also presently closed, but there is a door there. So main front doors, 1 door by the very back, and then stairs that go up and stained glass windows
chambers.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, yeah, got it. All right. As we walk up to this guy, are we kind of like invited? Are we? It's almost like we're treating with a lord.
Kind of.
Yeah. He set himself up like on the steps above you. Like the staircase goes to the left and right, and so he stands in the middle. So if before him, you're down 5 feet, and then to get to him, you'd have to like walk around or like climb up.
So he's how high up is he?
He's 5 feet raised above you. Just enough that he's got, it's the late night talk show host thing where their chair's just a little bit taller than yours.
Luther,
Is that a thing?
Oh, it's a thing.
As we're walking up, I'll whisper this.
Luther, you wanna get on your knees and then I'll get on top of you and then a razor you can climb on so they're at the same level?
Maybe not. It's a good point though. In the area, is there anything to like lean on, or like so I'm not fucking like stood at attention like I'm appeasing a lord, so I can convey some elements of like I'm not worried, I'm comfortable.
There are some pews on either side of you, left and right sides, and then beyond those, there's like columns that will hold up the ceiling. So you could sit on a pew, or you could like put your hand and sort of lean awkward. Stone.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
you
if
could
it's a
lean on
wooden
them.
pew, we could bring it.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
You could walk out of the center of the aisle off to one of the wings and lean against a column, or you could curse the man because he put himself in a position of like authority over
He's
you.
in a good position. He's got a good position.
There's a reason he asked you to meet in his temple,
I
right?
think I settle, right? I literally stand with my back next to the pew, and I just put like my right knee, I bend it slightly, and I rest my foot on the pew, so I'm not stood at like perfect attention, you know.
Right, you're Captain Morganing the pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
I stand at attention.
All right, cool. Well, the party lines up or comes up forward, looks at this guy. He's clearly set the stage. He's clearly put some effort into how he wants to be perceived when folks are visiting. Catrice walks up the dais to him and whispers in his ear a few things.
Wait, lip reading check.
Ooh. All right. Oh, natural one.
She must have put her hand up.
Yeah, or maybe her hair falls across her lips. Or, yeah, there's some moment where you just can't quite make it out. But that was
just impossible, you know.
I'm so sorry.
That would have been clutch. No.
He nods a couple of times as she whispers for 20 seconds, and then he looks down from his place of holiness. Steel Team 6.
Nice.
New kids on the block. Well, not that new. I hear some of your family used to work for us. Isn't that right, Pigeon and Luther?
I raise my hand.
Yeah, you treated my mom real good. Nice
That's
to meet
true.
you.
Yeah, we grew up around these parts.
Why is it then, Steel Team 6, that you work for yourselves? That you haven't joined the people who brought you up, who gave you comfort and community, who provided for you during the hard times, who keep your back from the other gangs in the city? Why is it that you've turned to the other side?
All due respect, Angus. But Pigeon and I basically spent our entire life in the Old Vic. We were looking for an opportunity. It never came.
That's a shame. The things you've done, what you've done to Francine's, that takes
Nice
balls. Takes courage. Takes creativity and leadership.
That's true.
I nod.
But
pretty
it
good.
also shows a fundamental lack of respect, he says, tapping on the altar in front of him. We've done nothing but care for our people. Refugees from war and terror, from undead monsters and armies. When you steal from Angus Smelter, when you steal from the Copperheads, you steal from the refugees, you steal from the people. And that I cannot abide, no matter how much respect I have for your gumption.
He's saying this in his fucking like golden throne.
Literally, yeah.
That is very good context to provide.
Yeah.
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 What do you have to say
You
for
know,
yourselves?
Well, Francine sold fancy water from down south from Cauldron. I don't really think that she was serving a purpose for the poor folks of Copper Hill. I mean, I grew up around these parts. I never saw Francine more than passing her shop. She never helped me. Why do you think we owe them something?
Economies are larger creatures than you could ever imagine.
What's an
Francine. My point exactly, boy. Francine's waters may not have fed your parched lips, but she moved the products that were made to people who needed them and brought wealth back here to help move money, the lifeblood.
Maybe to build a golden throne.
This temple serves the people. It's built by hard work, by volunteered hours, by pennies pinched. It stands as a testament, and he raises a hand to Sayor, our great god. Some lesser minds think of him as the god of making tools, but that's not it. This idea of craftsmanship. It's taking one thing and turning it into another. It's taking hard work and turning it into food. It's taking struggle and toil and sweat and turning it into a house. Sayor is a great god, and we have worked hard for our wealth that you have disrespectfully taken. We want it back.
First off, Sayor be praised. Second off, that wealth of yours, I'm sorry to say, but was already stolen in the first place. If we want to play this game of giving it back to whose it originally was, well, you know, who knows where the coins are going to end up, unfortunately. That's just the world we live in.
Maybe we can do something for you to work the cost down.
Sorry, maybe that was too many words. Finders keepers.
I was afraid you might say something like that. And he places his fingers in his lips and gives a whistle.
No.
And those doors behind you that were closed open. And sure enough, a bunch of copperheads begin to step out of it.
And, we swore against this, didn't we?
You know, coming from around some corners, we get some other folks here and there that come on out. And pretty quickly, you find yourself fairly well surrounded by a large number that I didn't even bother counting of mismatched gangsters. Now, we're gonna have to turn hard work back into coinage again. There's 6 of you. We more than double that. And if somehow you get out of here, well, you're on our home territory now. So this is how it's gonna go. You two, you betrayers of your own kind, you're gonna go back to your lair, back past those pesky dwarves, and you're going to bring me every last copper you took from Francine's. And the other 4 of you are gonna be my guests. Treated respectfully, of course, up until such time as that money comes back. And if it doesn't, then we all get a lesson in the sorts of men that Pigeon and Luther are. And your friends here, Percival, Helmet, Sierra, Jan, you're all gonna know the sorts of people you've aligned with.
Coin is one thing, but information's another. We have some information you might deem useful and interesting. If you'd be interested in talking, maybe half of the coin back. You know, we have to live too. And
you have information that's worth how much gold? Is what I'm hearing.
Hundred.
Well,
how much wealth did you pull from Francine's cart as my men shit themselves around you? Thousands? Tens of thousands?
Oh, now you're being ridiculous.
That's ridiculous now.
You don't even know? I mean, the one problem with this plan, Angus, and I respect your position here, but you mentioned it yourself. We already bought the 200 dwarves. So what, do you just want the dwarves, or do you know a guy who maybe wants to buy 200 dwarves? What we are building a fantastic tribute to Sayor. These dwarves, well, you've not seen craftsmanship like this, and let me tell you, Sayor would be over the moon if he knew what we were doing down there.
I'll walk up as he's talking, and can I reach up there? Said he's 5 feet up.
Yeah, you could easily reach and set your hand.
I'll put my 2 bags of coins up there. You know, my 100 platinum and my 47 gold.
Mm-hmm.
the 3 coppers in there too.
Okay.
Well,
I'll whisper to Luther.
do we tell him about the gem that we gave?
We didn't steal that from them.
I know, but that's information he might want to know about. They're gonna do a big thing.
Eraser
Get us out of here.
puts his hand up. Gentlemen, Lord Angus Smelter. I thought we were here for a conversation. I was under the impression that this was a polite meeting, not a threat to take hostages. What is this? Lord Angus Smelter says, this is what happens when you're on the top and people below you threaten you, steal from you. We can't abide it, but we'll let you live. We'll let you all live if you return what you've taken. Francine has an accounting of everything that she lost that day. We'll count it.
Maybe you... How much is it? Do you know?
He gives you that flat, dead look of like, why are you playing games with me? Do you not know what you took? Do you need an accounting?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not exactly sure.
I think an accounting would be useful.
I think
He
accounting could be
reaches into the altar, pulls out a stack, and slowly, like painfully slowly, flips through a couple of pages until he stops at some spot. Lifts it up. You owe me. And then he proceeds to read a list, the list of everything that you've taken from her, as if, you know, her journal where she keeps all of her ledgers and everything that she still had, or maybe she remembered it all. But he goes through a list. And can I get a D20 from both of you while he does so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
15.
think... Yeah. Luther, you will notice, Pigeon doesn't yet, who knows if the others do, but you'll notice that as he's reading this list and he's taking his time and going through it slowly, at first it comes off as if it's like, what do you call, like chastising? And then after a moment, you realize that his lips are moving in between each sentence and he's also like struggling to read it. Like this is a real blue collar person who still struggles with reading now that he's like a leader of a gang, but you know, it didn't come naturally to him. This is something that he's had to practice in order to even like read these things in front of people, and it's still a bit of a struggle for him. But he accounts all of the numbers, all the things that were taken. And I don't think any of you know exactly off the top of your head how much or what was there. You gathered your loot and you chucked it in your hoard, but it sounds about right. There might be one or two things he lists that are extra that were like in a box you didn't take, or maybe he missed one or two things here or there, but it tracks with what you expect that you stole.
I guess the number that I'm more interested in is like the number he's asking for as a percentage of how much we have in our hoard. Like, is it more than we have because we've spent some? Is it less than we have? Is it like half of what we've got? I know you don't know exactly, but I'm just trying to like gauge the...
Well, thankfully, the wiki maybe has a loot table. Maybe. Scrolling.
I think we should tell him about the thing that we sold to the gang.
And grass on the pit, man?
So, specifically, he says, you owe me 1,200 platinum, 5,000 gold, 24 gems, 3 potions, and 3,000 copper coins.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to struggle for that, to be honest, because
I don't think we have that.
we're missing
spent it by
5,000
now,
gold
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially the 25 gems.
I mean, is the plan to agree and bust them out?
How?
I don't know. Like, that might be a cool hijink to do. We could just
Percival-
leave and fuck him.
Percival leans in and goes like, guys, this is bad. Sierra looks to you guys and says, I don't think we have the money. Helmet,
Yeah, we don't.
Just adjusts his helmet and gets ready for a fight.
We don't.
It's
we
ready
bought-
for a
we
fight.
bought land.
Eraser looks to the two of you guys and looks back up to Angus and says, now, Angus, Steel Team 6 ain't called Steel Team 2 or Steel Team 4. We stick together. Always. You're going to have a hard time separating us. Right, boys?
I nod.
Right.
Angus looks down.
I heard you got a
Wow.
problem with the redcoats.
Who doesn't have a problem with those rich fancy pants lollygagging, thumb sucking, mama teat sucking sons of bitches?
Hero playing. We hate them. See? We got common ground. Maybe we can work something out here. There's more than just money.
I'm willing to listen, but it's hard to find something that's worth 5,000 gold, 1,200 platinum, 3,000 copper, 24 gems, and 3 potions. It's a lot of something. What do you got?
Well,
I look to the party.
I shrug. I mean, yeah. Tell
we
them about.
stole something really important from them. It didn't look like much originally.
And I'll give him the brief gist. I'm not going to give him it was Harroway, but I'm going to kind of explain like it was in this abandoned area and we went in and then there was the statue and there were some gems with it, and I'll explain the statue and then I'll explain how we went and we talked to the pitmen and how we were with the pitman wizard, and the pitman wizard broke the statue and what he discovered inside, and I will also explain what the significant was and how much they coveted it enough to where they would. I'm gonna lie and tell him it was half the cost of the house that we're building, but that the kind of wrap it up with the fact that like they probably have more of these stones to go to Ferris's empire or something like that. Because that's what it sounded like. It was like a Ferris Empire
But
thing. is what
you
said?
say it was like a memory stone
Yeah.
from an ancient wizard. Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
But
I'll
you
say
give
like
him
an
the-
ancient wizard.
The true on what the item was.
Yeah. And
But this-
explain how the wizard coveted it and that... Yeah.
This intrigues him quite a lot. This stone, this ancient relic. Who has it now? Certainly not the dwarves.
The pitman.
Hitmen.
And I'll give him the specific wizard's name.
His name's Malchus.
This wizard is known to me.
He promised to take us on this journey when he does go. Maybe we could keep you in the loop.
He thinks to himself. Thinks long and hard. You said you can get more of these? This isn't the only one?
I shrug.
If they're willing to put one out there, my guess would be that there'd be more on the inner city.
You think these redcoats were intentionally trading these stones between them?
At this point, I nod, yeah.
Yeah. Even if we can't get more of these, we could definitely get more of something else they have.
like your thinking, Pigeon.
I'm the best locksmith in the city after Mickey.
But I've heard a lot of he pauses when you say that. Starts again. Empty promises before. Are you telling me that you don't have my money? That you've already spent it?
We got a little bit, but just enough to get us by. We spent it all on those dwarves getting our lair. You should see the plans.
It's a lot of dwarves.
It's 200 dwarves, man.
It's
I'm
200.
It's gonna be ready within a year. It's huge. You know, we could be a real asset. I am the best locksmith in the world. I can open up anything.
That's true. He can.
Are you offering Steel Team 6 up to work
With
to be our minions, to be my personal assistants? Because I don't think that's what you're offering.
We're offering to work with you on missions together.
You steal from me and then I help you find more work. That's your offer.
Well, sometimes you can't get the whole Copperheads involved because it'll start a big thing. But if you send us instead...
Send you instead I shall. If you want to see, I need assurances that you're going to work for me. I have a job for you. A job that will begin to make up for this one. It's dangerous. It's quite certainly life-threatening. But if you do it...
more threatening than this.
But if you do it, I'll relieve half your debt in exchange for what you bring me.
All right.
Okay.
I think we're in.
I look around.
I think we're in.
The bare minimum is anything to get us out of here.
Yeah.
Will put us at least in a better spot.
What do you got? What do you want us to do, boss?
In the crypt underneath the castle in Fortune lies the corpse of the last count who ruled there, Count Vicious. His body contains some treasure trove of wealth, I am led to believe. Bring me everything in his tomb. Take none of it for yourselves. And we will let 2 of your Steel Team 6 members go. When you've paid the rest of your debts, you can all join again.
So it's just going to be me and Pigeon. I mean, I'm in it. This sounds fun. I want to see Count Vicious's grave.
I'm in
out
it
of
too.
character. Yeah.
Good.
Sir, we're willing to do it, but depending on what we bring back, would it be possible for you to maybe have some grace and, if it's a lot, let the rest of us go? Your Majesty?
Glowers at you. Don't worry about the future. Just worry about the task at hand.
Yes, sir.
There is one thing though, Angus. Eraser here. I motioned to him. The man's a genius. He's the ticking heart of Steel Team 6. Could we not bring him as well?
He's the plan guy.
He's the brains. I'm the brawn.
And
He's
I open the
2
locks.
of you
open the locks.
can go, and I want it to be you 2. So that way, if you don't come back, if you squelch on your debts, if you leave your brothers behind, everyone in the city will know for all time that Luther and Pigeon abandoned those that work with them. That Luther and Pigeon are the least trustworthy, most selfish sons of bitches born from whores this world has ever seen. I want your reputations on the line here.
All right, we'll do it.
Because you could
We'll do
go. You could step outside these temple walls and run, and you could be safe and free, and I could never get to you. But your boys would be hanging up by their toes outside, day in and day out, rotating them through so no one dies until you come back.
Oh.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it, yeah.
Excellent.
How bad can it be in Fortune anyway?
You can take the old road to Copper Hill.
Can I
Watch
take a
out
few
for
bottles of holy
monsters.
water?
Take the River Crux. Don't worry about the undead. William Marshall, the great Dracissian knight, has cleared the way. The lands should be safe, save the occasional monster. But you'll have to get past his bodyguards, his knights, his people, and break into the tomb underneath his castle.
Some Dracissian fancy noble boy is not going to be a problem for us, I can assure you.
Good. Good. And Eraser here, is what you call him, and the others, can all be guests of mine.
I whisper to
Catrice,
Percival as he's
show
talking.
them to their rooms.
And I ask Percival,
Where are your sigils and stuff? We might need them to do this to get you guys out alive.
If I was Percival, I would not be happy to hear that question.
He blinks, looks at you like, what? And then just shakes his head. No.
It's to get past the Dracissians, man.
He shakes his head. No.
I'm gonna
to
find them.
pretend to be.
They're at the house
noble.
somewhere, so I'll find them.
Let's see. No, maybe that's true. I thought you were
That's a
saying. I
good
just
idea.
thought you
No,
wanted to
not
get your
in
hands on the
here.
land
No,
deeds
no.
so that we could just abandon them and keep the land.
No, but I could see how he feels that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Catrice goes to lead your four friends away, Eraser speaks up and says, there ain't no jail cell I can't get out of. There's no window I can't escape from. No tower could ever hold me. If you want to keep your eyes on me, you better leave your very best bodyguard on me 24 hours a day.
Nice.
And with that, the four of them get led away, and our party is let go. The life of your brothers hangs in your hand. But there's also Timmy to meet with. And there's also a soup kitchen to set up.
Shit.
And life
Soup
is
kitchen
finally
will go
throwing
down.
And
Timmy,
we've got more important things to do now.
Mhm.
Timmy can get met with because we probably need a day to get everything in order.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's quite intimidating. It's bad enough just getting to Cauldron, never mind fucking Fortune.
Yeah. Am I able, when we go home, to find his shit? Perception?
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Mate,
I
yes,
really
we
need a
can.
good one here.
No, we can
It's my third one of
Oh!
the session.
I'm so sorry,
Wait.
Mr. Moon. His Percival stuff is not to be found.
What do you say, Nick?
Oh, here we are. God, I can't find it anywhere, Luther. Oh, really? Let me have a look for it. Nailed it.
Nope.
It's right there, you moron.
It is not right there. No, you
Oh,
can
it's not
search
right
his
there.
place. You can search your house. You can search the area,
Okay.
your little fortress thing. But it's not here. It's not in any place that would be searchable. Maybe if you wanted to like demo the entire house and start ripping
No,
up
it's fine.
floorboards randomly, maybe you could find it. Wherever it is, it's been well hidden.
That's fine.
Nick,
But I
let's grab
really,
some stuff from our horde.
yeah, I really want to use my acting proficiency to pretend to be
Yeah, you'll be good.
nobles when we get in. That'll be good.
All right. For those of you who are only familiar with Hardly Heroes, our capital of Stromheim is right here. Our fortress town of Fortune is over here between the Razorbrook and River Crux rivers at their little confluence. This is a pretty deep canyon that comes along here, so it's not like you could cross the river then walk up to it. The town has walls, has earthen barriers to the nearby river that sits, I think, like 120 feet below the land level in the Golden Sea.
Is this where the true power of Eridon lies now? Or would it still be in Stromheim?
You know, I get these questions like this all the time. And what I hear from people is what is the absolute truth of the area. And what I like to give people is this is your character's perspective. And so I might tell you one thing and I might tell someone else another thing based on what your characters would know. As far as you're concerned, Fortune is a backwater shithole. There's like wheat fields forever, and there's no industry, and there's nothing going on, and it's just a sad place out in the middle of the plains.
Second question. The obvious experience that I know of the skeletons sieging Stromheim.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know that they came from Fortune, and do I know that they came from the former Count Vicious that we're going to loot his tomb?
No.
Okay, good. 'Cause otherwise, I'd be more scared. But if I don't know that, then it's probably not a big deal.
Yeah, there's sort of like undead armies appeared and they came from the east, but that they came from Fortune or Heatstroke or Plainsview, no one really knows. Like demons appeared out of nowhere and attacked, and then undead appeared out of nowhere and attacked.
Oh,
and
because
then
the door got let open.
Yeah, and then there was chaos and strife and war, and you're just kind of doing your own thing. So I think your understanding is that the undead probably killed everyone in Fortune or some of the people in Fortune. And then this new fancy pants lord popped in and just took over like a ruined town.
Cool. All right. Sweet. Exciting.
That'll be next session.
That'll be next session. See you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait, I lied. We're going to come back in. Our party's going to go on an adventure. So we should do some XP right now so that we can just be at a nice, easy spot before we go farther.
Alrighty.
I've got a good feeling about this because I think that this sounds hard, so we might get a level out of it.
All right, let's see. Class rebuild.
So what you've done since then...
Oh yeah, we're not leveling.
Are we not? How much do we need?
Like 24,000.
Is it 40,000? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 48,000.
48. Oh shit.
Yeah, class rebuild.
So since then, you sold your stuff, got your base underway.
We bought a place.
Right. You went to Meadstead and you did all the Meadstead stuff. Then you came back to Stromheim. You paid your gold, and then you fought with the Redcoats.
Yeah, it seems right.
Okay, perfect. Let me just go get my Redcoat experience table.
Fucked them up real good.
They are... Okay. Experience generator. Yes.
I hate the Redcoats. Should get less experience for killing them just because part of the reward is killing them.
And like the satisfaction of killing them is experience enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get negative XP for killing dwarves. I like dwarves. Bad take, Boots. Bad take. It's Neil's dwarves specifically that are the problem.
Maybe you're the problem. Maybe that's why they have problems with you.
No, that's not right.
All right. So we have a bunch of Redcoats that you fought. We have the experience from doing the Meadstead thing, which wasn't super hard. You guys mostly got to sit around and like have fun with people while Percival did all the stuff. But it's a party and the party's working together. And just like when you get XP and you do the heavy lifting in combat, you share the XP with the other people. When Percival does some heavy lifting, you get a little XP from that. I'm not unsympathetic to your pleas and cries. You bought a place that's worth that's a big life milestone right there, buying some property. You set up a soup kitchen and some other stuff like that. That's ingraining yourself in the community.
Right?
Yeah, getting identified.
We got more in with the pitmen. Like we got to go to the Grimy Goblin.
True.
Oh,
we met
right.
a wizard.
Getting into the Grimy Goblin's worth experience. Trying to engender yourself to the community by building by expanding your influence is worth experience. Like that's the sort of thing that puts you up in the social ladder. That's a brand new life experience for yourself. Learning about Percival's past and doing the whole Meadstead run is experience. Bringing on and trusting another person in the form of Lemon, even though, it's Lemon, is also like that's a new life experience for you. You guys are learning to have friends outside of your brotherhood and whatnot. And we're just going to give a small section of experience for working with Timmy. Because it hasn't really panned out into anything yet, but this is like the next level of gangstering, is that you're acquiring henchmen and beginning to dole out tasks, Timmy and the other people that you worked with. So we have all of this experience, and we're divided between Steel Team 6, and everyone can take home 952 round experience.
952?
952. I rounded up.
Oh.
That's 107 for me.
Oh.
Sorry, 1070.
Okay, cool.
952.
Well, dying to a banshee at level 6 seems fair.
147.
Now, just to give some extra context for those that might not know it, Nick has played in and around Fortune before, and the current Lord of Fortune is one of Nick's former player characters. And this...
William Marshall.
Yeah. This is a little awkward, because if you do run into William Marshall somehow, I'm going to have to play him. And that is going to be awkward, because...
Nick will do it.
No,
I'll do it.
Not even slightly. Because he might not be like, what are you gonna? One of your characters is just gonna like help your other.
Are you joking? You give me a chance to draw that flaming sword again, I'm gonna take it.
You're gonna have William Marshall smite these people.
Listen, if you give me control of William for even a second, I'm drawing that sword. I guarantee it.
If for some reason you have to run into William Marshall, I'll have to play him, which is awkward because it's not my character. I really don't like playing other people's former characters, so I will do everything in my power to not let that happen. But I'm not going to derail or force the story in any given direction. If it goes in that direction, it's going to go in that direction. Also, this campaign takes place many, many years after William Marshall ended his heroic... Like, William Marshall ended on a high note, and then there was one little afterlog of, like... Then he took over this area from this evil vampire person. So, like, things have happened since then that you won't have seen. And I'm sure I won't do William Marshall justice. And he will have different, probably, goals and ambitions 15 years later than he did 15 years ago. So,
yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is Sayor not going to be fucking pissed off at this guy that he brought him into his church and then fucking lied and duped him?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Smite this guy.
Well,
this guy doesn't like Sayor as much as he claims, and he didn't respect the great building work that we were doing to honor Sayor.
It's a good one.
Have you done any building work to honor Sayor?
Not to honor Sayor.
That's what we spent his money on.
We built something for ourselves, and I wouldn't say that's honoring him.
That honors Sayor for sure.
You didn't honor Sayor. You just had a building. Having a building does not intrinsically honor Sayor, does it?
Yeah, but then if you spoke to a priest of Sayor, he'd be like, oh, well, all of the buildings around you represent Sayor's grace.
But like, if you move, I don't know, if you plant an invasive species somewhere, are you honoring the goddess of nature?
I mean, yeah.
Depends if it's a beneficial species.
Sure. Well,
anyway, fine.
Yeah. Anyway,
in my mind, he's a hypocrite.
Well, his relationships with the gods is up to him. Like, we don't get to see this guy's day-to-day life. We don't get to see if Sayor is, giving it to him in the rear for his problems, for his lies, for his, hypocrisy, as you might have said it.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. There we go. Unfortunately, we don't get to see his struggles.
Comeuppance.
Yeah.
I think 3 years ago that would have turned to combat.
You think?
I think so. I think I've come a long way.
Nice work. We would have died though, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
The guy on his own probably would have killed us. He's got 15 AC.
I don't know what level he is, but maybe. Yeah.
He's got high ground and 15 AC. He's undefeatable. And plus, switch back to that map, Neil. He's about 4 times bigger than everyone else.
Yeah, he was like a giant.
He's
Oh,
huge. He'd crush us beneath his mighty hands.
This is something that
He's almost
doesn't
as big
come
as
up
the statue.
super often, but in standard in D&D, right? Everything is usually in 5-foot squares. That's how you are in combat. But if you stand, in the real world next to someone, you're not actually taking up 5 feet of space. So I made everyone's tokens half sized because you were in like civilian normal walking around mode, as opposed to, if this were a combat map, everyone would have to fill up 5-foot squares very quickly.
Right.
So we just had you guys like slightly smaller to represent that this is not a combat mode thing. Cool.
Well,
All right.
then.
Everyone's got XP. I do want to say that Helmet, Percival, and Sierra are very close to leveling. Like
Good.
49 experience off of leveling.
Oh, you're not gonna give him that?
I'm not giving them that. No.
Oh my god.
No, definitely not. But that was not intention. We good to go?
When is our next session?
Oh, I don't know. The next few weeks looking tough. Let's see.
Well, I'm going to kill the recording. We will
Yeah.
discuss this off stream, and we'll see you viewers another time. Bye-bye.